And we're live.
Oh, hey. Okay. Hey, Jack. How you doing?
I'm doing all right, Gary. How are you?
Doing okay. Pretend that we didn't just have a 30-minute conversation.
Yeah. Fancy meeting you here. Oh, what are the chances?
Yes, absolutely. Wow. What timing. We're going to finish this comic today.
Yeah, hopefully we're going to finish sort of the main of the coloring anyway.
Yes.
Because in terms of like, it's I don't know if I don't think I actually had showed anyone here, or we've announced it publicly anyway. But this is the comic itself is actually, and I'll show you a little bit behind the scenes. It's a GIF as well.
Ooh, fun.
So
in our amazing boiling style.
So we're gonna try and mainly grasp down for the one sort of like for the one sort of like frame anyway. We're gonna nail down all the colors, and then I'll be able to replicate that over to the second frame, just edit around some things. But we won't do that for the whole of the stream. We'll just do it for the first frame for now anyway. But so yeah, today we're just gonna be sort of finishing off all the coloring in. I've already started a little bit just to get sort of the feel of the colors and what I want to do in terms of like textures and whatnot. Do some half-tone stuff as well, add some screen tones in there, see what we'll apply. But yeah, so kind of just I think it's going to be very we actually still need to figure out actually what the colors we're going to use for Cody's winter outfit here, because I don't think we figured out what colors.
Yeah. I mean, like, hang on. Let me go back to what you had here, because you sent me an idea earlier this week. It's kind of a green, like a darker forest green.
I mean, I'm basically just like taking his color, just taking his colors from his normal outfit and then just putting that on as a winter outfit. Like
yeah, I mean, what do I mean? Like, I feel like, I mean, there's that option. We can go with like the typical black kind of pea coat somebody might have. What are you feeling? Like, in terms, do you want to do something more colorful? Do you want to keep it like this?
Yeah. Well, I was thinking about like how I put it up on the stream anyway in terms of like the reference colors. This is just a rough coloring in as it did. But like in terms of the colors, it's not I think it's good to still have colors associated with him so that it doesn't like too differentiate. But then again, I don't know. It's like it's hard because I don't know what in terms of like. Yeah, you want something that's still familiar towards the character, I guess. I mean, I was thinking about adding like some kind of stripes here in terms of screen tones to add, just to make it a little bit more variety. I think as you can see, yeah. So I don't know if like just adding like a little bit of like texture to the coat will help in terms of some way.
Yeah, I mean, like, what kind of texture are we thinking? Are we thinking something like I kind of think of like if we were to do texture, I do wonder if kind of like, because like I said, like. Is it a hoodie? Is it a pea coat? Like, what are we looking at here?
I guess it's kind of like, I mean, it probably looks more like if I had the green here, it almost looks like a parka without the
parka
hood actually.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing some texture if we're going for the parka. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, sure. I will look through the screen tones and see if there's anything I could like add on to it. In terms of like. Texture and stuff like that. Well, we'll get to Kim when we get to Cody in a little bit anyway. Here, we'll start with this Cody here because I know his colors for his normal outfit anyway. So
yeah,
we'll start out
totally. How is everyone in the chat doing? Just wanted to say hi. Got a couple viewers in here. That's pretty cool.
Let us know if the volume's okay.
Is everything sound okay, guys? Like, how are we sounding?
Are we too loud? Music too low?
You gotta wait for those. the 30-second delay or whatever it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, wonderful stuff. But yeah, no, I think some texture could be cool. I'll be interested to see how you. Sounds good. You sound too perfect, as a matter of fact.
Oh, get out of here.
Come on. Now you guys are just trying to get insider information on where we're going with the show. Come on now. Let's have some dignity.
In what way can we go with the show? I mean, clearly we're going to go with the space spin-off.
Yeah. Oh my God, Cody and JC in space or whatever.
Yeah.
They really failed upward. They went up as high up as you can go. Honestly, why not?
Sure.
There's actually a piece of art that my friend Duck did where it was for the comic. and it was like one of those kind of like here's like a random artist, not a random artist, but here's another artist drawing the characters, and I need to see if I could find it. I think I posted it on Newgrounds. Let me see. Let us see. But yeah, what other kind of crazy Failing Upward spin-offs could we have?
Let's see. I mean, Meet Frankenstein. It's always good.
Speaking of that, did you hear Keenan and Kel are going to meet Frankenstein?
Oh, is that been a? Oh, okay. I didn't know if that was true.
That's the new movie coming out. We got Keenan and Kel meet Frankenstein.
Like as themselves. I mean,
as themselves. They're going to be playing themselves.
I mean, that's perfect. Yeah, that's great.
Here's the art I was referencing. Here's the.
Cool. You want to get that up? Let me see where it's. Yes, cool. What if I can get that?
That
up?
is cool.
Yeah, we get that up actually on the stream.
Yeah, check it out, guys. This is from Duck and Pluck. Really fun artist. Really nice guy. But this is 2017? No, 2018. This is 2018.
Oh yes, because it was for the competition, right? You did like.
Yeah. Oh, no. This was for the comic. This was like a little kind of like piece of variant art we did for the comic.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
Yeah, check it out, guys. This is from Duck and Pluck. Let's see. Who's in here today? I see we have 4 viewers in here today. Who's in here right now? I know Cooper is here. So Coop is here. You don't have to tell me you're here, Coop. But who else is here? Show yourselves. K-Master is here. Who are the other 2? Show yourselves.
Some people like to be lurkers, Gary.
No, you think they just want to be lurkers? They don't want to. Am I going to scare them off? Because oh, don't call me out.
You know, we could be like good pop, like background material. You know, which actually I don't know if that's a compliment or a.
They're here for the vibe.
Yeah.
They're totally here for the vibe. Anyway. I saw some movies this week. I saw a new animated movie this week. I saw All You Need Is Kill, the new Studio 4C anime.
Yes, sick. How was that?
Yeah, it was great. I loved it. I think people who are. It's funny because it's definitely brutal at points, but you see a lot of gore and everything. You see people get torn up, but it's so interesting because the tone I think they went with is very like modern YA tone.
Right.
So the characters are. I mean, like I think most people are probably more familiar with the Tom Cruise Edge of Tomorrow, Live Die Repeat movie, which is crazy. It's like the first time in a long time that I saw a movie get a different title on video than it had in theaters.
Right. Yeah.
Which is pretty crazy. But I know most people are familiar with the Tom Cruise version, Emily Blunt and Tom Cruise. But the concept is it's basically Groundhog Day. Every time the main character dies in this, he comes back the next day, and he has to keep fighting this kind of war. It's like sci-fi war.
Yeah.
So there's the Tom Cruise version. This version is more like. I thought the setup was really interesting because instead of fighting a war necessarily, a big plant lands on Earth, and it's very docile at first. It's not doing anything. It's kind of just sitting there. Mm-hmm. So they send a team of volunteers up to go like check it out and take samples and bring it back to the lab and everything like that. And that's instead of like an army, it's like all volunteer kind of like scientists, like 18 to 20 something kids, like kind of going up, kind of like I'm trying to think of like the best way to look, like how you would look at, like it's when you do like missionary work almost, I guess, is like a good, or like you are like in a science class in college and you're going to different you're going to different things and helping out with things like archaeology class or whatever.
Oh, sure.
And like you're going to like different sites and helping out with it. And that's kind of like the main girl, Rita. That's like her whole thing. And you get a bit of her backstory, which I won't spoil. But Yeah, I thought that was a very interesting approach because it's like it's kind of the same as being in the army in a sense because you're volunteering to do it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you're going up and doing it out of your own volition. You're not no one's making you do it. Um, but well, I guess in this case anyway. I don't know. I haven't read the original book in a while, so I don't remember if it's like a volunteer thing or it's like a draft thing. But I just thought that was a really interesting spin on it, where it's like, oh, they're just kind of kids, like, you know, who are helping out with this thing. And then, you know, everything goes to hell. And a lot of like the first half is like all just like she keeps dying and dying and dying and dying and dying, and she's trying to figure out how to like destroy this thing and like what she needs to destroy. So it was cool. I liked it a lot. I thought Yuasa was involved in it, but he's not. And I will say I love the it's a hand-drawn CG blend. And honestly, it kind of fooled me for the first like 75% of the movie. I was like, is this just hand-drawn? And then there's a couple of CGI elements in, you know, put in, but no, it's all like that. It's all CG hand-drawn blend. So I thought that was really interesting, and it looked incredible. I thought that was like one of the most, it was the best implementation of it. We got a trailer for the new oh, what's his name? It's the guy who directed Bell and Summer Wars. Hosada. We got a trailer for his new thing. And you know, I love his work. I mean, Girl Who Leapt Through Time is one of my favorite movies of all time, and Summer Wars is great. Wolf Children's incredible. Like, he has amazing stuff. But there was something about the look of that movie that didn't quite like click with me. Like this one did, because it's just doing a similar thing where it's blending, you know, 2D and CG. And the trailer for that one didn't exactly get me excited. But yeah, I don't know. I guess it's a tricky thing to do. I don't know how much you know about like blending those two things, Jack.
I mean, you know, I think, well, it's funny how, like, in terms of just, like, how much of that, of kind of, like, because I've noticed in terms of Japan and anime, you know, with 3D animation, they've really picked up the last couple of, you know, years or so. And I don't know, like, I think they're still experimenting with it in terms of, like, as a platform to animate and to, like, you know, visually, you know, I think they're getting the knack of it right now, but in terms of like, because I mean, Japan itself it's probably an anime, you know, it's one of the only countries that really embrace 2D animation still. So it's like, you know, you've got all these, I guess, animators, you know, who obviously knew through animation, I guess, through 2D pieces and works, you know, and I guess only been familiar with it. This is me theorizing anyway, you know, but like, you know, only see through it for like from other countries who have, you know, experimented more with like, you know, 3D animation or so, and I've got the knack for it more, you know, or use it more. So I imagine that they're still trying to like, you know, sort of like perfect it in a way that's sort of like it's true to their artistic vision, while at the same time, you know, is works in a 3D, you know, you know, as a 3D animation. So I think it's I mean, I do like how it's very much they're still kind of like trial and erroring in terms of like how to perfect it and stuff like that, you know. So sure. I think in terms of like remind me, was the director you mentioned who did Summer Wars and Bell and
yeah, Hosada.
Yeah. I mean, did he because I mean, I forgive me because I haven't seen his recent film. Do you know if that was like, was it all 3D but like within a, you know,
the new one, or the new one? I don't know. I couldn't really tell. I mean, like it's like I couldn't really tell, but not in the fun way I couldn't tell in this one. Like it felt like two different things battling against each other in that trailer. Where like I can see the hand-drawn elements, but it looks, I'm trying to think of how best to describe it. I think it was also an issue with just like his backgrounds get really crazy. I'm sure you know if you've watched any of his Digimon stuff or any of Summer Wars, he really likes those abstract backgrounds. You know, like where it's like clocks and like all these different shapes and like polygonal stuff going on.
Yeah.
Like I think that's kind of running, and I think that might be an issue here too, because that's where his implementation of CG started, I think.
Yeah, of
where
course.
He was using stuff like,
Yeah, you're right. I mean, he definitely he was on the ball with it in terms of like, in terms of the CG artwork and stuff like that. Oh, granted, he had the characters mostly within a, the
2D space,
2D,
yeah.
But like he used the 3D
I think
space.
I think that's what's kind of making it a little awkward for me, where it's just like now he's bringing the characters into a 3D space, and I think it loses a little bit of its quirk when it does that, and now it just looks like a CG thing. Yeah. And I think he's still trying to anchor it in the 2D style, so he's like mapping 2D designs on 3D characters. And I just don't think it once again, it's like one of those things that looks kind of confusing when you look at it, because you're just like, that's a 2D character, but I can see the 3D elements. Whereas in I Thought All You Need Is Kill, it's like sometimes I'm like, oh, that just looks like a 2D character, but they're moving in a 3D space. So I don't know. I just think I don't know. I just thought it was an interesting thing to see somebody who had been so amazing at it for years and years and years, combining those two things, and then I see this new thing and see how far it's progressed, and then this new one he's doing. What's the new one called? I liked Bell well enough. I thought it was a little clunky in terms of storytelling, but let me see. What is the new movie he is doing? Mamoru Hosoda. Scarlet. It's called Scarlet.
Right. Okay.
He also did Mirai, which was incredible. So like it's just one of those things where I think he's just having fun at this point with here's me doing all this different stuff, and I'm throwing everything at the wall and seeing what sticks. I'm like, I can't deny that's really cool. Like, I mean, if I was a director with that kind of resume, filmography, I would just go crazy at this point too.
Sure.
But I don't know. It just it didn't work for me as much as what I saw in All You Need Is Kill. But maybe I just need to see the whole movie. Maybe that's the problem. I just need to see the whole movie as is. Yeah. Yeah,
you might. Yeah, who knows? Maybe it's just that can be sometimes the case anyway. In terms of it took me different example, but it took me a long time to embrace Psychonauts. Because for a while,
really,
I couldn't get over that visual style. I was like, oh, this is really, doesn't work for me. But then was it just
unpleasant to look at for you in terms of just the character design and stuff like that? I
guess because I was just like, how can you play a game that's so, visually striking in terms of how these characters are designed and stuff like that, and how you can make that I just needed to play the game to make me understand it, really, because I was kind of jarred in terms of, found it quite jarring in terms of how it could work as a game, and even though it had all these reviews and stuff, it's I don't think I'll be able to mesh with this game. And yeah, I played it obviously it always goes on cheap on Steam. And I played it, and I was just like, oh, this is actually. I mean, basically, I kind of grew up. I kind of grew up a bit in terms of the art style and learned to embrace it, because I'm like, it's actually really cool how you managed to, even when it came out, originally, it was you nailed this art style in a way that still works even 20 so years later or so since it was released. So
sure,
20 or 30, I don't know how old it is actually. Came out on the PlayStation 2, right?
Yeah, Psychonauts and Xbox.
Right, cool. Yeah, so it's it still has such a, striking visual style in terms, that's I think even though the second game, which I haven't played yet, but even though the second game still adapts it in terms of a HD, modern way, it kind of loses the little bit of the zest, that was missing from it. But then again, it's not too, it's. I still need to play that second game anyway. Still need to finish the first.
Oh yeah, I have not played Psychonauts 2. I have a couple friends who are huge fans of it, so I'm gonna definitely have to jump on it soon enough. But yeah, I quite liked I like the style a lot, but also it. I could see somebody looking at it and being like, "This is very bizarre," it's very of the era. You know what I
Sure.
mean? It's very like
Yeah.
I think that kind of character design in particular is very like mid 2000s. Like I don't want to say DeviantArt because that's not really a good. But you know, it's so funny because I feel like it started a lot of things you would associate with Tumblr aesthetic.
Oh, sure.
The noses and everything in particular. I know people like to say Tumblr nose. I really don't care, but I always thought that was really stupid. But there's a patchwork aesthetic to the character design. Almost,
Yeah.
I feel like it feels like they're taking different elements and kind of mashing them together into something. Almost like it's a weird kind of pull. It's almost like how you make a quilt in a way, where it's like, oh, I'm doing all these different designs and I'm putting them on one character. And so you get like the giant ears and then the really red nose and then like the gangly bodies and stuff like that. The shapes in particular, like it's a mishmash of shapes too, which is really cool. Every character has like a specific shape theory to them. It's not like all kind of, they're all like all cut from the same cloth basically.
Yeah.
Which once again goes into the quilt thing,
Yeah. I think that's what I really like about it, the art style in general, because it is just the principle of just shapes and stuff like that. But like it's almost like if each character has sort of like its own, combination of shapes that make it distinct to them and their design. On top of all the extra details that go into it. So it's like it really makes it. I imagine makes it just as fun as probably to design those characters as it is to like, see them play out and whatnot. So it's I
think and kind of bring it back to what you said about like, oh, it had to grow on me. I think there's a lot of movies like that where it's just like, or a lot of projects, like cartoons in general. I think I could imagine that a lot of people. I've always loved Danny Antonucci's style, Ed, Edd n Eddy. But I could imagine that there are some people that had to grow on. You know what I mean? Like or the same thing with just anything Squiggle Vision in general. I feel like home movies is a lot like that. I feel like if you take home movies at face value, it's not like the most amazing, mind-blowing show ever, but it owns its own style. Yeah. So I think it endears you to that style through the writing, through the characters and everything like that. And you kind of have to let it grow on you. And I think that's how Psychonauts, kind of probably worked for you too, where it's just like, once you kind of got into it, you were like, oh, I get it now. I get the aesthetic they're going for.
Sure, yeah. I wonder though if that was part of the issue upon like for some people, because maybe that was part of the problem in terms of like why the game it didn't do well, right? In terms of like when it first came out, and
it did okay. It did just okay. It did not do amazing, from what I know. Let me see. I know Tim Schafer games are usually kind of appreciated after the fact. He's kind of ahead of the curve when it comes to like, here's the stuff that's gonna eventually end up becoming like a cult game. I think Grim Fandango did pretty good from what I remember. Let me see.
Especially in terms of PC games, I imagine that game did really well. Because there wasn't anything like that, especially on PC for point and click. Point and click was still that was an up and coming genre in terms of back then, right? Especially for those like PCs that get like I don't know, because that was I'm trying to picture like what, because that game came out the late 90s. So like, what was the
which
PC?
game? Oh, Grim Fandango.
Yeah.
Yeah, like mid to late 90s. Okay,
so I guess we were on like Windows 98 and Macintosh was on. I don't know. I'll have to fact check that later.
Yeah, so I'm looking up the sales right now.
Oh, cool.
And it says Psychonauts did not reach publisher Majesco's retail sale expectations. Although the game was first cited as the primary contributing factor to a strong quarter immediately following its launch, a month later, Majesco revised their fiscal year projections from a net profit of 18 million to a net loss of 18 million. What the? How does that work? And at the same time, its CEO Carl Yankowski announced his immediate resignation. By the end of the year, the title had shipped fewer than 100,000 copies in North America. And Majesco announced its plans to withdraw from a big-budget console game marketplace. Schafer stated by March 2012, the retail version of Psychonauts had sold 400,000 copies. It looks like there's some stuff following up when they put it in like Humble Bundle and stuff like that. Right. But Yeah, I don't know. It's a shame. I played second. I rented it when it first came out. I beat the game in a weekend. It was a lot of fun. I had to cheat a little bit in it, like just look up walkthrough stuff on a couple things.
Oh.
It is a little obtuse sometimes.
Oh, sure.
It's slightly obtuse sometimes, but it's that's kind of the fun, is figuring certain things out in the game. I think, you know. But yeah, I'll throw it to chat. Chat, what's some chat's been really quiet. A lot of just chill vibes today. Chat, what are some games that had to grow on you? Like what's a game or a movie with a style that had to grow on you? I'd be interested to hear what you guys think. We want to make this an interactive stream. But yeah, no, I think there's a lot of stuff like that, especially in the 90s, when just a lot of weird animator. I feel like, you know what's one that I feel like I've come to appreciate more? I liked the show when it aired, but it definitely felt out of place in terms of the greater kind of like Cartoon Network sphere. Cow and Chicken is a show that like is aggressively, you know, unpleasant in certain points.
Right, yeah.
But Dave Feist's stuff, I ended up really liking. I think his character designs are very funny. I love some of his ad work that he did. He kind of brought Chester Cheetah into like a 2D space, which was really cool. I like his Cheetos adverts. That's what you guys say over there. Sorry, we say commercials here.
No,
but
I get don't worry, I get you.
But yeah, David Feist's stuff has kind of grown on me a lot. So, and then he did a couple Pink Panther shorts that were really good.
Oh, really? I didn't know about Pink Panther stuff. I'll have to check those out.
Yeah, he worked on we had a short-lived animated series over here. So yeah, that's what he worked on that, I believe. So Coop says mainly any game with cell shading or zombie movie games like Land of the Dead, Left 4 Dead. I also been playing Triggerman for PS2. I feel like I remember that game. Triggerman. I have to look that up. So no, I think cell shading is also one of those things that's a little bit of a learning curve. I think now we're all like, oh, it's the coolest thing ever, but maybe as kids we're like, why is this so polygonal? Let me see, Triggerman game. Oh no. Turn off AI. What's going? Oh my god, Google, chill out. Triggerman game. Oh, okay.
I mean,
I do kind of remember this. This head looks like kind of looking at the art for this. It kind of reminds me of the art from the Twisted Metal 2. I don't know if you ever played that game, Jack, but
I mean, I know of it. I haven't played it.
When you beat the game, you get these kind of comic book cutscenes where everyone is kind of, they play into the fact that, like, you know, they're comic book drawings. So like when they have to be in a 3D space, they're all flat.
Oh. Okay.
So it's kind of cool. It kind of reminds me of the art style for Twisted Metal 2 for sure. But yeah, cell shaded stuff. You know, I think at the time of when the show came out, I wasn't into the look of it, but as I've gotten older, I'm like, oh, that's really nostalgic and it hits hard. The MTV Spider-Man show, the one that came out right after the first movie, with Neil Patrick Harris as Spider-Man. Have you seen that one, Jack?
I don't think I have.
It's the CG one. It's the CG one.
Oh, the CG one. Wasn't it like that's not Ultimate Spider-Man, was it?
No. That's the one with no. That's the one that was for Nicktoons. Not Nicktoons. That was for Disney XD.
Gotcha,
Ultimate Spider-Man.
Okay.
But the MTV one is the CG one.
Right. Okay. Vaguely, I think I remember it being like advertised in like the comics I used to read.
I think there are definitely some small imperfections in it, but once again, it's an MTV budget. You kind of have to like roll with the punches on it. Okay. But I think in retrospect, it looks pretty cool.
I mean, does it look?
Here, I'll
I was gonna say, does it look cool in terms of like Spider-Man and his enemies look pretty cool, but when it comes to human people, like
No, I
it's
think
like,
the humans look fine. I think Mary Jane looks fine there. Peter's got a weird face in the thing I sent you, but like,
oh, let me see.
I think it looks fine.
Oh, okay. that's not a great example. It's not a good look for Peter here.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I get you though. Yeah. Let me show that on screen. Hang on.
There's a. Oh, here we go. Here's a better shot. I think if I can get it out. I'm talking about it's so funny that like this one kind of came and went. It was in the wake of the first Tobey Maguire movie. And it's technically a continuation of the movie, I think. I don't know. I haven't watched it in a really long time.
It's I mean, I can see this as like, I mean, it kind of reminds me slightly. The art style is like
what's that game? There's a game that this looks like a lot. I think it's called Facade. Is that the game I'm thinking of? Hang on. There's a game where like you go into it's Facade.
Okay. It does.
I'm gonna post a picture of Facade. There you go.
Oh, okay. yeah, okay. All right.
But I think Facade is charming, so it's fine. It's fine.
Oh my god.
I don't know. It's cool that they were experimenting with technology. I just don't feel like we would get something like this today. So I think it's interesting looking back at all these shows that tried something different, and it's easier to appreciate them in retrospect. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I totally, it's like.
Are you still laughing at the Facade thing?
Well, I like, chat. What do you think? This is like, look at this comparison. I mean, because I can see it. What a weird game.
Yeah.
All right, enough.
Totally.
Oh boy, funny.
Coop, thank you for that. Thank you for that. That little tangent there. It got me on the Spider-Man stuff. I mean, listen, I think that Spider-Man show did CGI better than a lot of the stuff that was doing CGI at the time. Obviously, I think the gold standard for like 90s to early 2000s CG is like Reboot. You know what I mean? I think they did the most with what they could back then.
Yeah.
I think Reboot's a little underrated, to be honest, in terms of how it looks, because I feel like they had so much freedom to do abstract stuff that like, it looks weird, but when you kind of think about it in the context of watching the actual show, it makes a lot more sense. Because they're in a computer and everything like that. Like, so it's just like, oh, okay, so that's how you would do that. But no, I think Spider-Man is kind of underrated in that respect. Because what else did we really have? We had what CG shows? We had the Donkey Kong cartoon, which is, I mean, it's been memed to hell and back. So I don't know what I could say about it that hasn't been already said.
I mean, there was some technical, like, because they used like actual, like,
mocap. That was mocap.
Mocap. Yeah. So you can't say
it pushed the limits. It was pushing the limits. I don't think the technology was quite there yet, but
I'm impressed they had a song for every episode.
Yeah, and all those songs became memes in and of themselves. No, I remember watching as a kid and I was like, whoa, it's Donkey Kong and he's 3D. It's kind of cool. And now you look at it and you're like, oh, it's Donkey Kong. He's in 3D. Oh no.
It's TV budget 3D. Ugh.
They tried. That was a I believe that was a French cartoon, was it not?
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't. In terms of like because of how they pushed because I don't know if because I feel like they used the same technology for a Rayman cartoon. I feel like once.
Oh, interesting. Are we talking about Rabbids, or are you just talking
about
Rayman?
No, like OG Rayman, like Rayman, I think around the time when Rayman 2 was about to come out, or when it was coming out, Because I remember seeing like they did an animated show or pilot or whatever, and they did have it was a show, yeah, it was a show, but I don't think obviously it had I think it still had, oh gosh, what's his name? Who voices Philip J. Fry?
Oh, Billy West.
Billy West. I think he had Billy West doing the voice of it. I mean, I might be throwing this out. I maybe just talking crappy. I don't know. I might have to double check this again. But I swear there was like some kind of like in the same way as Donkey Kong. You know, they had a 3D show, and it was very. But it also became lost media because there's not much. Yeah, the animated series 999.
Huh.
It was meant to be a series of 26 episodes. With projected release during the fall of 2000, but only 4 were completed when it was cancelled mid-series due to production issues.
When you talk about Psychonauts-esque designs, these are kind of almost like a proto-Psychonauts in a way. Some of these other characters that aren't Rayman.
You had Lackmac.
Very interesting.
Lackmac, Bettina, Cookie, and Flips.
I'm always into this kind of weird lost me like stuff that kind of. I mean, there's some stuff that's even released that's interesting to me, like a relic. Have you seen the there's a movie done by the guy who did a lot of the designs for Nightmare Before Christmas? It was called Carnival.
Ooh.
Yeah. Not the HBO show. Carnival movie. Carnival. Yeah, I'll post that in the get a good size picture here. I don't know why it's so hard to find. Like, wow. Okay, I guess that's the best I'm gonna get here. Everything else is so small. Wow, there's not a lot of pictures for this online. Is it 1999 this came out? Yeah, I'll just use that one. But yeah, it has like, I think I wrote about this on Twitter once. I was so fascinated by the design. It's interesting. This is a 2D movie that came out in 1999 about a bunch of kids that go to like kind of a weird, I guess, parallel dimension carnival or like a haunted carnival, like a haunted theme park.
Right.
And the cast is, I mean, I'm actually looking at the cast. It's not super crazy, but like there's 2 characters and you got 2 pretty big stars in this. Helen Bonham Carter, and then Hugh Laurie is in this as well.
Wait, Helen Bonham Carter is also in like, and it's associated with Tim. Like, well, it's from a person who worked.
Yeah, I don't know how much. I don't know what Tim Burton was involved with in this. But it's definitely somebody that's worked with Tim Burton.
Right. Yeah. Gosh, that's so fascinating.
Yeah.
It does look like some sort of like. Almost proto. I mean, I'm weirdly getting like. I mean, mainly because I'm looking at the female character here, like proto Beetlejuice-esque.
Oh yeah, she's definitely got like Lydia vibes.
Yeah.
It's after Beetlejuice.
It's after Beetlejuice. Okay.
This is 99.
Right.
Yeah.
I haven't heard of this before.
Yeah, I hadn't either. I was kind of surprised, like, oh man, there's still stuff I'm finding out about, like, that came out from when I was
I will
a
say,
kid.
because of the carnival vibes, I don't know why, I'm getting We're Back, a monster story.
Oh, absolutely. 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 So yeah, I wrote about this years ago. I said, like, I found the weirder stuff when I'm not really looking. Apparently, there's a super rare 2000 animated film, Carnival, from Dean Taylor, who worked on Night Before Christmas. I said I take the character designs. Not sure why this film has been buried so hard, but apparently Taylor's not happy with the final product. So that could be a reason. Not only does it star Helen Bonham Carter and Hugh Laurie, but also had a canceled N64 game.
Oh, what?
You know what the designs remind me of? And I wrote it down here. There was a cartoon we had in America called Generation O.
I think
a band.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I think I do. That you're throwing all these names to me.
I know. It's fun. I liked Generation O quite a lot. It had music by Letters to Cleo in it, which is one of my favorite bands. But it's kidified rock music. But still, I thought it was cool that like a big actual like alternative rock band was doing music for cartoons.
This looks so familiar.
It looks familiar?
Yeah. Hold on, let me get Carnival off the screen here. Generation. Yeah, this. I mean, I swear, like back then when I was a child, because I don't think I think obviously, when I was young, I just watched so much cartoons and just whatever channels they were on and stuff like that. Whatever was on Saturday morning and whatever channel it was on. So much so it got to a point, obviously, where my parents had to take away the licenses for those channels because I wouldn't get anything done. I was like 4 years old, just like glued to the TV, and I just wouldn't be doing anything. So they had to take away Cartoon Network, Disney Channel. Well, I literally wasn't doing. They were just concerned for me. So I was like, but I mean, granted, I got the chance. It helped me get me into drawing and stuff like that and such. It was just but I was just like glued in front of the TV for like the longest time. So they had to like take those channels away. For the sake
so you have like really weird kind of fragmented memories of certain things.
Some things, yeah. I mean, there's still obviously the whatever came on like Saturday morning, cartoons that were on like the main channels and whatnot that were were available, and obviously whatever in the afternoon after school. But like, just like it's always just like the strangest stuff that you sometimes like you would channel. I was just going through the channels, just seeing if there was anything other than cartoons that were like happening in the morning or whatever like that. You just find something that you see once and you never see again, kind of thing. And this Generation O thing looks definitely like the type of show that I would come across, see one episode and then never see again because I forgot what channel it was on. Or like
this was a Kids WB cartoon, so I don't know if you had Kids WB over there.
We did it, but
that seems like something that was more of an American channel.
Yes, but like I think because what was because I feel like that was on it was like another channel or company licensed that material, so we would still see it, but like not.
It would come through a different way, yeah.
The art looks familiar though. I wonder who was the artist.
I can't tell you who the artist was, but it was written and created by the author of the Hunger Games.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, here is the full Carnival poster. This is the one I was looking for.
Oh, cool. Okay.
This character with the nose, man. That's so out of step with everything else. So funny though.
It looks really. Characters. I'm guessing these two of them are like twins or brothers or something.
Yeah. There's two. That blonde design. Yeah. One of them is the good twin, and one of them is the bad. I think I've watched this in like chunks. I don't remember anything about it. But it was an Irish-French collaboration, so I think it was originally done in French and then dubbed into English. I think.
This stream has just become a lost media stream.
Yeah, I mean, you can watch this all on YouTube, I'm pretty sure. You can watch the
whole thing. All right, okay.
Yeah. And apparently, like I said, I've heard that the director is not very happy with the final product. So I do remember watching this, and there was like, hey, are parts of this movie cut out because I feel like it's jumping from thing to thing, and I'm not seeing everything.
Oh, look, they got the names on. I just realized. JC Cerizzo, Millie, Eddie, Ginger. His name is Ginger, and the character's blonde. What the hell?
English dub of Carnival, 1999 animated film directed by Dean Taylor, ripped from the Taiwanese DVD. Oh man, that's how far we have to go to get this. So fascinating, so interesting.
Kind of sad though in the way that you can't like. This has almost become forgotten in some way,
Yeah, and it shouldn't be. I mean, like people worked hard on this. It should be, preserved somewhere. You know what I mean? Well, I think it's kind of sucks when it's just like, either the studio doesn't feel like preserving it or the creator doesn't feel like preserving it. Like, it's not really fun. Yeah. I mean, I guess, I'm a little mixed on lost media sometimes because I feel like as long as the creator still has a copy of it, I don't consider it lost necessarily. Lost to the general public for sure. Like that is, but I feel like if the creator has it, it's like, I'll release it at a certain point. Like, that's typically like, okay, well, at least it's safe. You know what I mean? It's not, It's not going to burn it's not going to burn like all those poor films in the night from the 1920s, 1930s that went up in that one, incident with the film stock, setting on fire and everything. But I think, sometimes people have like an aversion to releasing things even though they don't want to. And I'd say as long as the thing is safe, that's the most you could ask for. But yeah, I don't know. I definitely prefer when things are kind of dropped out and released. I remember speaking of things that were not technically lost, but kind of like hidden. I'm a big fan of Pepper Ann, the '90s cartoon. And it started off as a comic in YM magazine. And I don't know if you've ever seen the Pepper Ann comic strips, Jack.
I mean, was it just like what made them different? Was it just the fact that?
Oh, you're gonna love these. You're gonna love these. These are very U-coded. Here, I'm gonna post them in here, and then we could put them up on stream maybe. But hang on, where's the Discord?
I just realized something.
Here it is. Cool. These are very U-coded. I feel like.
Oh, these are like almost. Well, I guess
Fido
because
Dido.
obviously,
Yeah.
Fido Dido. Yeah. Oh, we're literally in the corner.
Yeah.
Oh, was this before? This was before the show then.
Yes. This is what the show is based on.
Whoa, these are so sick. Yeah.
Yeah. And she still has like the olive skirt and the baggy shirt and everything. It's just, the facial design is different. No, it's cool. Like I love this style. And yeah, so I posted about this on the Lost Media forum. I'm like, does anybody have these? And that post sat there for like 3 years. And then just randomly one day, if someone was like, oh, I went to a library on my college campus and was able to find these. They posted pretty much all of them. I think there's only like 2 or 3 missing. But no, it's cool.
Yeah,
I think it's really cool.
I was going to say, yeah, because I'm obviously, I guess, for the sake of like animation purposes. I mean, not to say that you can't animate Pepper Ann here, but it's more the fact that they have to probably do it for the sake of like, for a children's cartoon, give it a bit more of a, design that was not only appealing for like a children's show, but like also just for the sake of like animation purposes, to make it a bit more. Have a bit more like character within the, not character, just a bit more expression and whatnot. I had no idea. This all started, and then I'm finding out recently also that, well, obviously I know Mr. Warburton worked on Pepper Ann the show. Like I was wondering where the fine line was. It was like Kids Next Door looks like that. Obviously it's Mr. Warburton's style, but he also was the character designer for Pepper Ann. And that's why it's why Fido Dido, Pepper Ann, Kids Next Door. That's how it all interconnects.
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, I not only that, but like it's such an interesting kind of like clash of influences too. Obviously, you have Sue Rose who did Pepper Ann, and then you have Mr. Warburton. But then also the guy who did the music for Pepper Ann was a member of the B-52s. Who also did the music for Rocco. So, I don't know, it's just really cool. I think that's a show where like so many different things are coming together. And, the writing is also really good. So, I don't know. Pepper Ann's just kind of like a perfect show to me. I don't think there's like one bad season of Pepper Ann. It's all great. I was shocked, because I remember as a kid, it consistently airing on ABC as a kid over here. But then apparently in its 4th, or hang on, I think there's 5 seasons. In its 4th and 5th season, in its 4th or 5th season, it switched over to UPN, which had a ABC block, which was so bizarre to me. It's like, I guess they wanted the show to keep going, but they didn't want to keep it on the one Saturday morning block over here. Because they were having a bunch of influx of new shows. So they're like, oh, we can't keep the show that's been going for 5 seasons. Let's move it over to our, our backup server, basically. Okay. But yeah, it was able to end. So it's one of the few like 90s kid shows that has like an ending, which is pretty cool in my opinion.
Wow, cool.
Yeah. So yeah. So I'm looking at this Lost Media thread. So new user here. Thanks in advance for your patience with me. I have found most of these courtesy of the Schlesinger Library at Harvard University. Their archive includes issues of YM Magazine from 1992 through 1995. which was able to request and photograph in person with a camera. Here are my photos. I'm working on submitting formal scanning requests to obtain better images. I'll post the updates accordingly. Some notes. The comics consistently printed with the magazine's regular Say Anything column, except in March 1995, when that column ran into an expanded format and the comic appeared elsewhere. Based on a review of all issues in 1992, I can confirm the comic first appeared in August 1992. The library's archives did not include the March 1993 issue, so this strip is missing. In addition, the Say Anything column on page 18 had been torn out by the library's copy of the April 1993 issue. Therefore, these two issues would be a good search for secondhand buying sites or on other library archives. The library's final issue from a relevant period was from April 1995. A special prom issue, which ran early in 1995, did not contain a strip, so I'm unable to confirm the final strip of the series on May 1995 onward to the end of 1995 might contain additional strips. Also, Nikki, though unnamed, shows up in some of the later comics. No Milo, as far as I was able to see. Interesting. I'm always interested in seeing how these things start off. And yeah, it's pretty cool. There was an actual Pepper Ann comic that was done in Disney Adventures, which was an old magazine we had over here.
Right.
And that was a tie-in with the show, so everyone looks like they do in the show.
We definitely had it as because I think Disney over here had a UK Saturday morning block on ITV, ITV, which was like Channel 3 over here, and it was just. I mean, I guess it was such a it went through some phases. I think the earliest phase was like it was originally called the block was called Dig It, and it had like presenters and stuff presenting the shows and whatnot, and then it changed to Digging It really later on, which introduced like again the two presenters, but they were like in a room, or they're in like a like a weird factory or whatever like that, with like a lounge area with like this fuzzy alien big bird character, fuzzy character.
Okay.
And then after that there was Toonattic, which the same idea. Although I think that also later on not only did Disney but also Nickelodeon cartoons, because I remember seeing SpongeBob on there as well.
It's called Dig It. Is what it's called? Dig It.
Dig It, yeah, Diggit. And
then it was changed to Digging It.
Digging It, yeah.
Wow, this is interesting to see all the stuff that aired on here, because a lot of it is Disney, but then you have a lot of superhero shows on here as well. A lot of Marvel stuff. And then all of the One Saturday Morning stuff, and then Mummy's Alive for some reason.
Oh yeah, Mummy's Alive, yeah.
But yeah, I'm seeing all this stuff. I'm like, oh, Archie's Weird Mysteries.
Archie's Weird Mysteries,
yeah. See, Pepper Ann was on here. Sonic Underground is here. PB&J Otter is here. NASCAR Racers, which is a show I haven't thought of in years, but has one of the coolest like intros ever.
I don't remember NASCAR Racers.
It's not worth watching.
Okay, great.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Just watch the intro and you're good.
Sure.
They was one of those like corporate branding things where it's like NASCAR is really big right now. Again, we're really big in the late 90s, but like they're like, let's make it like a futuristic racing show where they have like weapons on their car and everything. And I'm like,
oh god,
they'll just have the NASCAR branding on it.
They had the Wacky World of Tex Avery. Oh god, I don't even remember that airing.
Oh, chat peeked up a little bit. Let's see. So Pinata Time Extras is here. Hey, Pinata Time Extras. Coop Animates mentions there was another fire in 65 which burned a lot of early John Wayne movies, which stinks because my mom loves old John Wayne movies. Yeah, I've heard about that one too. That stinks. Pinata Time Extras said like Snowden, not too bad, but no way I can get out. Oh man, yeah. There's I don't know if you know this, Jack, but on the East Coast of America right now, and probably in the bit of the Midwest too, there is a massive blizzard going on.
Oh, is that?
So yeah, there's gonna be like 10 to 14 inches of snow or something. It's pretty crazy out there. So Pinata, please be careful.
Yes.
So Coop Animate says, I can see Pepper Ann in the failing upward style, kind of. Oh, that'd be a cool experiment to do. Like if do like Pepper Ann, like our characters as like Mr. Warburton type characters. That could be fun.
Oh yeah, I can try. Give me
Yeah, we could do that another stream. That's definitely an idea for another stream. Thank you, Coop. We will attempt that.
I mean,
that would be a fun stream in general. Is like doing the characters in other styles.
Yeah, I mean, I love Mr. Warburton. I mean, that whole
stuff's so cool.
Your stuff's so great.
Yeah,
he's just a cool guy.
I always love just the big like even if I wasn't like I wasn't. It's funny. I think I'm a little bitter because I really loved Kitty Bobo, so I wanted that to win that year. And I appreciate Kids Next Door. I think it's a fun show.
Oh, sure.
But I think for the first year or two with Kids Next Door, I was just like, man, I really wanted the show about the cat in the city.
I think a lot of people did. You weren't alone. Don't worry.
Yeah. And I know they tried to get it up and running a couple. They're doing a comic now. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh, I didn't know they were trying to. Yeah, I mean, that's been in the works for quite some time, hasn't it? The comic, or
yeah,
well, then again,
I believe
just
so.
In general, just trying to get the show back in the public eye.
Yeah, I think now would be really cool, especially if you kept it in that Y2K aesthetic kind of vibe. I think it would really take off. Man, like that. If you talk about stuff that like I would love to see a company like Glitch pick up. I would love to see them do something with that because I think they got the rights back to it. I think they were able to keep the rights to it.
Oh, great.
So I would love to see if like a Glitch or another company would pick something like that up. Like that would be really cool. And I feel like that's the kind of perfect show to do with them because it's, I can't imagine it. It's not an action show, so I can't imagine it being like a budget breaking kind of show. It's a pretty chill show. But yeah, it's pretty cool. But yeah, Coop, thank you. We will take that idea. I'm gonna write it down right here, and then we will turn that to a stream. That would be pretty cool. But yeah, I don't know. Pepper Ann's just a really cool show. If anybody in chat has not seen Pepper Ann, it's on Disney Plus right now. I definitely recommend watching. I'm pretty sure it's all over YouTube as well.
Yeah.
There's nothing illegal about typing Pepper Ann into YouTube search bar and seeing what comes up. I stole that joke from there's a podcast I love called Goosebuds, where it's just a bunch of guys reading. Well, it's not called Goosebuds anymore. They changed the title because they're not doing Goosebumps books anymore. But they used to say like there's nothing when they used to look up like Goosebumps episodes of Are You Afraid of the Dark episodes. They'd be like, there's nothing illegal about typing Goosebumps into YouTube and seeing what comes up. Really, yeah, I don't know. It's just a cool show. I think it's also The Weekenders was amazing. If you remember that show too.
Weekenders great. Love The Weekenders.
Man, Weekenders. I don't know if you get that another massive influence on Failing Upward. I loved any show where it's like characters who are friends, but they're not afraid to call each other out on BS all the time. So they like. It's not antagonistic, but they don't mind making fun of each other. But it's usually in a very jovial, fun kind of way.
Incredibly grounded. Incredibly
grounded. Yeah. I feel like as much as I love Recess, I feel like the core friend group was kind of made to like always compliment each other and stuff like that.
Sure.
Like I'm sure there were episodes where they had disagreements about things, but like. Hey Arnold's kind of like one where they call each other out on stupid things. But there's something about the way they do it in Pepper Ann and in The Weekenders that feels very like real kid. You know what I mean? Like
Sure.
like I can tell those are real kids.
Yeah, no, I get you. Recess, I feel like it's very much more exaggerated. The type, the children in terms of like their types and who they were. Literally to the character archetypes. Was the to who they were as characters and and stuff like that. But then of course that's what made it fun for the show is that obviously you engage with because they're still rounded characters because they apart from their aligned and like Spinelli's the tough one. Gus is the fat one. But there's more to it. Than just that. So. Yeah, I liked those kind of shows were great because I like how it's a whole. It wasn't just about those main characters. It's the whole school. There's a whole kind of there was a big cast there of like very distinct characters and stuff like that. That had there was a great appeal upon like who would be featured in this episode and which characters would come back out. In terms of like there was no like background characters. You know what I mean? It's like there is background characters, but those background characters all had a voice, all had like a character within them that that would define. It's the same with Hey Arnold or
Oh yeah, absolutely. Hey Arnold's supporting cast is like one of the strongest supporting casts in like cartoons, I think.
Really?
Every character in that supporting cast had like an episode that's memorable.
Yeah, fair. Yeah. I mean
I love the episode anything with Helga is classic. I think any Helga-driven episode is like the best episode of the show. I mean, the episode where she goes to therapy is insane.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I love Stinky. Stinky's really fun. I like how they flesh him out a lot. Harold is a really good character too. Like Harold starts as the bully, but becomes like one of the most sympathetic characters on the show. He's like a big softie deep down, and like he I love the episode where he gets the cat that ran away, and then he like holds up with it, and like the police are outside his house and everything trying to get the cat back. That's a great episode. The episode with his bar mitzvah is really good, where Arnold gives him like he's about to go on a boat to an island, and it's like Arnold gives him this like really intense speech about what it means to like accept responsibility and be a man and everything, and then it's like, wow, Arnold, I never thought about it that way. He's like, good, where are you gonna go? Elk Island. So funny.
That's what made that show just like I mean, it really helped to have like I think it's just helps to have that extra kind of like flavor in terms of like characters and defining them as more than just like as part of the ensemble.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, I think if it was just about Arnold. And no doubt, Arnold's a really great character. But in the terms of just like, if it was just all about him all the time, I think
it'd get really boring. Really
well,
fast.
Yeah, because he's a very down to earth character, and he's sympathetic. But you need some people to like work off him and stuff like that. And then sometimes those characters come in that really help, and then sometimes it becomes much more fun to have them be the focus. I mean, I think the writers really thought, probably figure that out as well in terms of like, we can't just keep it to Arnold all the time. It's fun to like, let's push out to see, what's Grandpa doing, what's Sid up to, in terms of like just all the kind of extra elements and stuff like that. That show. I mean, I'm personally I'm happy that even though I guess a lot of people are ahhing in terms of the Jungle movie, which was supposed to be, I guess, the finale. I'm glad that show got a send-off or a proper ending in terms of like,
I mean, like, regardless of what people think about it, they got to end on its own terms.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, I totally hear what you're saying there. Yeah. I like these textures you're doing in the backgrounds, by the way. They're really fun.
Oh, thank you. I'm trying to, like, again, I'm currently looking into what I can do for, like, the winter background. It just needs, like, a nice gradient, but because when I look at like, you don't want. I mean, and I think the thing is, I think I mentioned to you earlier about a lot of these like comic strips in terms of the newspaper comic strips. The reason why they don't add backgrounds to it is that, or colors and stuff, it's a lot of other work, and that's not a principle that you think about when you're applying to to backgrounds of like the artwork and the colors and stuff like that, because they're always, for the most part, print in black and white. It's like, except for the times that they produce it in CYMK colors. So.
Those are really cool textures. This is a really cool texture.
Yeah, I mean, these turn out great. I'm just I've got like two types of like halftones and screen tones. Some of them are labeled and some of them are not. So I'm like trying to like remember like which ones do which. But I just want to see which ones work out in terms of like. I know this is probably not entertaining to watch, granted, but.
No, I mean it's fine. That's cool. I mean, this is all about the process. I'm gonna go back to chat really quick. Pinata said, "I love the Teacher's Pet movie. Outstandingly weird style. I've never seen a movie hit those levels again." Teacher's Pet is interesting. That artist in general is very interesting.
I mean, I love what's his name? What's the name of the artist?
I'm gonna find out right now. I know that guy from a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, because I love his artwork. His artwork's amazing. But yeah, I didn't know
Gary
it was a film.
Baseman. Gary Baseman. He did Cranium, the game Cranium.
Cranium. I didn't know
which is a board game. Yeah.
I didn't know that was. Yes, that's right. I remember. I didn't know that was a film though for the longest time because I swear they. I don't know what they did, but they made it a TV show eventually, right?
It was a TV show first, and then it turned into a movie.
Right. Okay. So I'm not going crazy then. Okay. Because I saw it as it was part of like the Disney.
It's part of that block you probably watched. Probably Digging It. It was probably on Digging It.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Yeah.
So I was like so confused. Like, why is this why is this a movie? Did they just turn it all into a movie? Like, how did that happen? Actually, I'm more curious upon like.
I would actually be very interested because it's not the only. So I think here's my theory as to how that became a movie. This is without even looking anything up about it.
Okay.
So the first Disney One Saturday Morning movie was Doug's first movie, which it's a movie. I don't have much to say about Doug's first movie.
No one does.
I think Tim Jenkins is a very talented artist. I love the original season of Doug, the original seasons of Doug, and then I think once it goes to ABC, unfortunately, it gets kind of the brand spanking new Doug seasons are pretty. They're rough, and it was actually cool to kind of hear him talk about that, where it was just like, look, like I know a lot of people don't like these seasons. He's like, I take full responsibility for a lot of the changes made. This wasn't like a Disney thing or anything like that. It was literally all these decisions were mine because I thought it would be a cool idea to expand these characters in certain ways. But I think the biggest issue with those seasons is that Billy West isn't there. He doesn't do Doug or Roger anymore. So I feel like you lose a little bit of the magic. But also just, it's a risk I respect in a way because it was just like, okay, well, what if we did Doug, but we turned everything on its head because it's all about change. And it's suddenly Roger's rich and Doug has a little, I think it's a little sister named Dirtbike. And it's just like the beats broke up and stuff like this. All the stuff of the status quo from the original series is kind of turned on its head. But there was something about the style of the writing. I feel like if they had done that with the style of writing from the original, it would have worked a little better.
Sure.
But it is what it is. And then so Doug's first movie comes out, and I think that was another one. It just felt like such a missed opportunity. I feel like you could have had the equivalent of like a slice of life anime movie, for Doug, where it's just like, oh gee, like I'm gonna tell Patty how I feel, and it's him like working up the nerve to tell him how he feels for the whole movie. And like if you wanted to make it a musical, you could have done that. You could have gone that route as well. But what it is, Doug's first movie is all about like he's trying to find like the monster of Lucky Duck Lake, and it's the nematode, and there's like it's E.T. It's E.T.
Right,
They made like E.T. with Doug, and it's just like okay, and then they murder a robot in it, so that happens. Yeah, Ahmad got me the poster for that when he came. He was like, yeah, I got the poster for Doug's first movie because it's been kind of a meme between us.
Right.
Also, just the audacity to call it Doug's first movie. Apparently, it was it was supposed to be a TV movie. But then at the last minute, they were like, let's make it a big movie in theaters. It did very well in theaters. I was surprised to find out it did so well. So I can tell you right now, on a budget of $5 million, almost $20 million. So it almost made 4 times its budget. So they were like, okay, we can make these movies for pretty cheap. Like they were supposed to be TV movies and put them out in theaters. And I think that's what they did with Teacher's Pet. I think Teacher's Pet was doing really well in the ratings, and it's like, okay, this one's doing the best in the ratings. Like, let's make a movie out of it. I do not think it did as well as the Doug one. So that's yeah.
Because especially because Doug was based on a franchise that was already well known.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, so I don't know why. I imagine why Teacher's Pet didn't do as well is because it did well on TV, but it's not a well-established franchise that everyone...
they put more money. They put double the money into this as well. This is $10 million on a $6.5 million return. Ooh. But yeah, it's also a very bizarre movie too. It's a very, 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 very weird movie.
Sure.
Film is dedicated to Baseman's dog, Hubcaps, who died during production. That sucks. But yeah, I would have loved to see, like, I think a Pepper Ann movie could have worked if you have 5 seasons and it's like, okay, well the show did really well. Let's make a movie out of it. But yeah, I don't know. I think what happened with Teacher's Pet is that, like, people are like, oh, I could just watch that on TV. You know what I mean? I don't know why Doug, but I think it goes back to what you said about Doug. Doug had a decade of build up to the movie. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's the difference there. That is ultimately, like, the deciding factor of, like, this was a big thing, whereas Teacher's Pet had, like, 3 years of build up before the movie came out, probably. So, like, you know, that's not quite as much. Let me read the production of this. The film was animated by Walt Disney Television Animation and Toon City. So yeah, it was a different studio. It wasn't straight out like Walt Disney Productions, you know, Walt Disney Pictures. It was the television animation division who did it, who also did Doug. On its story, instead of telling the original Pinocchio story, the filmmakers thought of putting a twist on the tale, which relates to the theme of the movie, Be Careful What You Wish For. Nathan Lane returns to reprise his role as Spot after working with the musical producers. The movie itself serves as a series finale to the television series. Still very bizarre. Still very weird that they... I would love to see, like, what decision went into making that a movie. I'm sure there's interviews that I'm not looking at. But, yeah, if anybody knows why they made a movie.
I wonder if that also... That decision, though, because of the success of that film, because you mentioned Teacher's Pet, was what others... Because I know Recess had a theatrical film as well. And I mean, what else? What else also?
Well, that's right. Recess did have another. Recess had a movie. How did that do?
I don't know if it did well, but I think that's a. I think that.
It's a fun movie.
Yeah,
it's a fun movie. It's got that really say interesting CGI shot in the beginning.
Yeah, the beginning at the end.
Hey, listen,
as well.
They tried. I'm not making fun of it. It kind of goes back to the Spider-Man thing I said. I think it's always impressive when I see someone like try to work with the new technology, and probably for the budget they had, it was what it was eventually. It just came out the way it did because of the budget. Yeah. I mean, I saw somebody defending that, and they were like, "I actually like this shot. It's actually interesting." And I'm like, I could see somebody liking it. It has almost like a Parappa the Rappa vibe to it, where like it's a CGI background, but everyone's kind of flat on it. I think
the final shot is better than the first one. If you remember what the final shot is, then yeah, that works out.
Yeah, I sort of remember
a little bit better.
So on a budget of 23 million, 44 million. So it made its money back, but it doesn't look like it made a huge profit.
Oh, okay.
It looks like it got close to making a profit, but like it did okay. Basically.
Okay.
Yeah. So this was 2001, and then Teacher's Pet was 2004. Doug was 1999. Interesting. So I guess the movies were doing well enough to where it's like, what's the next highest rated thing we have? So yeah, I guess that's how Teacher's Pet came to be. We got some more chats here. A lot of pinata stuff. It sure is a movie. It was meant to be straight to video, so this is about Doug. Going to big screen was weird. I actually like Disney's Doug. I think most people haven't even watched it. It's like pineapple on pizza. Yeah, I don't know. There's aspects of Disney's Doug that I kind of appreciate. Like I said, I like the initial concept of everything changing. I think the pilot's really interesting. But yeah, I just think as somebody who grew up with Nickelodeon stuff, it was kind of just such a jarring shift in not only tone but style. So I think even though I probably watched as a kid, it wasn't one of those ones I was like, I gotta watch this. So yeah, there was that. It's fine if you watched and didn't like it. I know most just didn't watch it and jumped on the bandwagon to say it's bad. Yeah, probably. I mean, I think that is kind of par for the course for a lot of just like, things that kind of have a sequel series and stuff like that. Like, the movie is rough. the movie's something. It was all Michael Eisner's fault. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know enough about the production.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned that thing about like jumping on the bandwagon to hate certain things. Because I know a lot of people have issues with the FLCL sequels, which is understandable. I think the original is such like lightning in a bottle that it's very hard to replicate. But I will say, I love FLCL Alternative. I think that is totally worth the time for everyone to watch. Alternative is a really good series. It's a lot more subtle and quiet than the original. It doesn't have quite as much like, it doesn't have the same energy as the original, but I feel like the story is really good and is very heartbreaking by the end. Very, very sad. It leaves on a very bitter note. So I quite like Alternative. So if you want a series that kind of gets a lot of hate but doesn't deserve it, I think that's one of them. Jim Jenkins said Eisner gave the movie the green light after seeing a rough cut of the movie. Interesting. Like, you mean like a theatrical green light or like a green light just to finish? Like, because that's happened before. I can think of a couple movies that's happened to where it's just like, hey, I watched the rough cut and you can just put that out. There's a movie from the 80s by Joe Dante called Explorers, where they were trying to rush it out for the summer. And they just saw a rough cut and they were like, good, put that out. And Joe Dante was like, it's not done. It doesn't matter, put it out. So yeah, that one kind of got screwed over, and unfortunately a lot of the deleted material from that movie is lost now. It's just gone. He was like, oh, it's probably staying on a highway somewhere. Yeah, Pinata, Explorers. It's one of my favorite. I have a poster for that movie. It's great. It's a really fun movie. I think a lot of people don't like the ending, but I think it's pretty funny. Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting. I like the Disney television animation movies are very interesting to me because like they have there's those 3 movies, and then they also did a Goofy movie. And then they also did the DuckTales movie. So they have like an interesting like stable of films. I don't know if did they do anything beyond that. Let me see. Walt Disney Television Animation. I want to see productions. Let's see. TV series. Oh my gosh, so many. TV specials, just movies. Or film. Oh, that's not gonna help. Oh my god, they did so much. This is crazy. I cannot find Disney Plus original theatrical films. Here we go.
Right.
So it starts with DuckTales. Then it goes to, you have a 5-year break, and you go to a Goofy movie. You have a 4-year break, you go to Doug. They did the Tigger movie.
Wow.
That's interesting. Yeah. They also worked. They worked with Japan, Walt Disney Animation Japan on that one. Recess School's Out, Return to Neverland, and their last one was Teacher's Pet. Huh. Interesting. Return to Neverland did pretty well for them. They had a $20 million budget. They got $109 million. Wow. I thought that movie didn't do well when it came out, but I guess I was wrong.
Yeah, I think no. It definitely. I mean, of course, it did well over here. I think. I'm pretty sure it did. Yeah, that film. I don't know. It's just on the other. It's a film that I feel like didn't need to exist, but at the same time, it's like whatever. I think what did the Jungle Book 2 come after that as well?
Yeah,
like
but that's
Disney,
not the same. Yeah,
that's not by the same company as well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was surprised to see that They Might Be Giants have a song in Return to Neverland.
Really?
Yeah. So
random.
To Be One of Us, Now That You're One of Us, written by They Might Be Giants. Hang on. Several original songs were written for the film. I'll Try, written and performed by Jonathan Brooke, which is just put into 3 different versions. A short version sung at the beginning, blah, blah, blah. So where's the They Might Be Giants song? Why is it not? Is it not on the soundtrack? Oh, it looks like they just wrote it, and it was performed by somebody else. Okay. I see. Yeah. Very interesting. I don't know if you know this, but They Might Be Giants also wrote music for Coraline as well.
Oh, really? I
Only
did not
one of
know
the
that.
songs was used. Yeah, only one of the songs was used, which is the one that the dad sings on the piano. But they
That's
did
good.
a song for Coraline called "Careful What You Pack," which is one of my favorite They Might Be Giants songs.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, when you listen to it, it's very obviously it was supposed to be for Coraline. I didn't know that till like 15 years later.
Coraline is kind of, I mean, it's not, but it could have been a musical. Almost feels like
It was
right?
supposed to be. I mean, like that's what they were supposed to do. It was supposed to be a
Right.
musical.
Okay.
They Might Be Giants wrote everything for it, and Henry Selick was working with them to do that. And then at the last minute, they were like, "This isn't gonna work." And I think it was more of just out of practicality than it was out of like, "Oh, this could never work." Because you have to. I think just with stop motion in general, you know, I think just the staging you have to do for musical numbers is pretty crazy.
Sure.
So I do wonder if that kind of factored into it. But yeah, the songs I've heard for the Coraline stuff from them are really good. It just comes down to like, I don't know. I'd have to look it up to see what the reason was. Why did Coraline? Why wasn't Coraline a musical? Hang on. Very exciting to hear me typing, I'm sure. Why wasn't Coraline a musical? It did turn into a musical eventually. Stephen Merritt did the music, the guy from Magnetic Fields. Interesting. Okay. There's a lot of stuff about Neil Gaiman I want to look at here. TMBG, hang on, let me see. Okay, hang on. Damn it. All right, I'm gonna have to look in this later.
Yeah, no
'cause
worries, no
we're
worries.
having a little too much dead air. Sorry about that, guys.
It's okay.
But anyway, yeah, it was supposed to be musical and it wasn't. Sorry for that awkward dead air. Apologies. Oh, we're on the Cody one. I like nice. I like the stoplight. Looks cool.
Yeah, I almost did it as how our British traffic lights were, so I realized that.
Oh
I
yeah, no, I can't. We can't have that. Unfortunately, this takes place in America, Jack.
Oh
Do it
shoot!
the
Yeah,
American
yeah.
way. Yeah.
It's it's the fictional city of like it
Well, it's
uses.
funny because here's a little bit of. I feel like we haven't talked a whole lot about Failing Upward in general, but like the kind of lore behind Failing Upward in terms of like where it takes place and everything is has always been interesting to me because I think in the original script I wrote that it takes place in like Central City. That's where Cody lives. But I was like, no, that's the Flash. Like I don't want to just steal that from the Flash. It's a little too obvious. So like eventually you'll see a city name come up, but it won't be that. And I'll leave that to be a surprise.
Okay.
But the one I did keep was JC lives in a town called Overton. So like that's where JC lives, and that's just like a general kind of U.S. town name out here. So it's like an any town USA kind of vibe for her.
Okay.
So JC lives in Overton, and Cody I just always described it as like the city.
Yeah.
And then you know, as far as like how far away they live from each other was always interesting to me too, because I think like I want to keep them in the same time zone. But like they're not in the same state. Like that's something I
Sure.
kind of like chose to just like no, they can't, because if they were in the same state, Cody could just drive and see JC anytime he wanted. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like that, it wouldn't make sense. So she has to be in like a different state.
Yeah.
So
I
if
think
they're
about-
not in, yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say because I think about in episode in OK Nightmare, like when they're the splits, like when they're talking to each other, like Cody is like outside, you know, and it's sunset. It's actually sunset in the background, whereas JC it's nighttime pretty much. So it's like they're not so far apart in terms of time zone wise.
No, I would say like they're probably like at most like an hour difference, maybe.
Yeah.
So like far away enough to be an hour difference, I would say.
Okay.
So like, yeah, she's in a totally different state. She drove
okay.
all the way home. But not as uncommon as you think. Not everyone can just jump on an airplane or whatever, you know.
Oops.
I think Cody is in the same state as the city. I think where he came from is in the same state as where the city is.
Okay.
So I think that was totally fine because like I mean I definitely based it off of New York for sure. A little New York, a little Chicago.
Okay.
So like a little thing between like sort of that's kind of where it lays or lies rather. So there's that. I was actually thinking there's this game that just came out this week that I'm kind of disappointed I can't play yet because the Switch port didn't kind of come out when it was supposed to, but it's okay. I should just get it on Steam. I should get a new computer and get it on Steam, but it's a game called Perfect Tide Station to Station. The original Perfect Tide, it's a sequel to a game called Perfect Tides. It's done by Meredith Gran, who did Octopus Pie.
Yes.
So big failing upward inspiration as well. But you know, she does a stream every week with her brother Joe Gran, who you know, Yukino Joe, who did, you know, Dog of Wisdom and stuff like that.
Again, that's such an interesting fact.
I know that they're brother and sister.
Yeah.
No, and what I found, you know, it's a very interesting stream they do because a lot of it is they do their thoughts on modern topics and stuff like that, but a lot of the show is like it's called Thingus to the Past, the stream. And a lot of the stream is them kind of re-examining stuff from their childhood and kind of bringing it into a modern context and talking about it that way.
Right.
Like core memories from their childhood or stuff like that. And they grew up on Long Island, which is also where I grew up. So Perfect Tides is very much almost like, you know, like I don't know how I'd have to watch more interviews, so I don't want to speak for her on it, but I think a lot of it is clearly inspired by her time growing up on Long Island as a kid. But instead of calling it Long Island, she calls the town, the area Perfect Tides. So I thought that was really cool. Like, and I, you know, like I said, I could have always called it just like Cody moves into New York City or something like that, but I wanted to keep it more ambiguous. I didn't want to do like a straight up New York City thing. So at first it was Central City, and then I was like, no, the Flash already kind of owns this, so like I'll change it to something else eventually, and you guys will see eventually what it will be, but you know, we'll get there. But yeah, and then Overton was very clearly, it's so funny because like even though Overton, like I grew up on Long Island, it's not like anything I grew up with though. I wanted to do something different, like, so it's Overton is more of a I would say like a Midwest kind of like town, like it's a Chicago suburb or something like that. Like it's a you know, something like out like in the Midwest, something like that. And yeah, I don't know, that just felt really cool to me. Like not cool, but like it just felt like a more interesting thing than I feel like if I did Long Island, it would be so super specific because like Long Island suburbs are like so interesting in the way they're laid out. Like they're not laid out like normal suburbs. It's so hilly around Long Island. Whereas like normal American suburbs, you kind of just think of like flat on the ground, like, you know, cul-de-sac type places. And we have a bunch of places like that on Long Island, but like so much of it is like up on hills and like there's a lot of odd house structures and everything like that. But I don't know, like I kind of was just like, no, I want to like put JC. I would say this isn't like a knock against like suburbs or anything like that, but like I want to put her in like the most like boring place possible that she wouldn't want to be basically, you know. Like that was kind of my idea for her, where it was just like just put her back where she started, and it's kind of like a purgatory for her almost, where she feels kind of trapped there. And you know, the only kind of cool place is, you know, Piper's record store, but you know, even there she kind of feels trapped because it's like that's not the same Piper I grew up with when I was like a kid. So like I don't know, I had a lot of fun doing that. And then conversely for Cody, like in the city is just like, you know, all these new things and it's super scary. And you know, kind of coming back to what I want to do in the future of the show, I want to open it up more and explore more of the city, have Cody go out and do things and have fun, because if you read the comic, that's kind of what JC kind of like, this is why you should like the city, you should do all this fun stuff. And I feel like even after she left, I think part of him is scared to kind of go out again. You know what I mean? Because
sure.
it's just like, oh, I had JC with me and that was okay. But like, I want to do, hopefully if we do more, when we do more, like I want to expand out into the city, and that's kind of something the Christmas special will do a bit too, I think.
Yeah.
So we'll get there.
Yeah.
But
I mean, yeah. We did do it in an episode in the all my friends episode. Cody was in the coffee
Cody
shop.
went to the coffee shop and everything, and he's outside. He's mostly been hanging out in his apartment for most of these though, so I think once we do the next episode, which is inherently kind of like the bridge of him breaking out a little bit more.
Sure.
When we do more episodes, we're going to show him outside hanging out and everything, and we want to get him out of his comfort zone, and we want to get JC kind of like out of her not comfort zone necessarily, but kind of her thing a little bit, and like we want to do more with that, but that requires kind of more funding, I think, just to just because of like how intricate those shots would be, and like
sure.
It's so easy to just throw somebody in a couch and have them hang out and do nothing all day, you know what I mean? Like that's kind of it's a good test run for these characters, but I feel like that's the one thing in the show that I really want to expand upon, is just like I want to get them out of these places. Like JC has had a bit more. I feel like she has the record shop and her house, but like I feel like past here we need to break out a bit more. We need to do a bit more.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, it'd be fun to sort of like, different settings can do a lot for characters in general in terms of like, how they kind of like go through something. Depending on like where the setting is and stuff like that. Like a park setting would be interesting. I feel like for the characters to go, or like talking like somewhere in a park, maybe alone, something like that.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily need to be on the busy city street where you have cars going by and everything. You know what I mean?
No.
Like we can do more than just have them be on the street. And I feel it's so interesting because like watching shows like Mission Hill, I kind of like now looking at it, they always feel like they're in the city and everything, but like, and Andy will be walking on the streets and stuff, but like you won't necessarily see like cars that much. You'll see one pass every now and then, but it's not near, unless it needs to be for kind of a crazy shot. You don't see a whole lot of traffic or kind of like hard to animate things. They really focus on the characters.
Yeah.
So I think that's always really interesting, where it's like you can just have an empty city street and do that kind of thing. So yeah, I think that is something we'll keep in mind. Have them go to a park, have them go to like, concert venues and stuff like that, or like comic book stores.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like we should definitely do that in the future as far as like, different things.
Well, we can test these out in these comics in general. There's a lot we want to try out in terms of like, well, in general.
Gotta watch out for the Yetis though.
yeah. I was thinking to myself, I will get to the Yeti eventually. I know we're going to be talking for a while. It's because we've been so in depth on like obscure animations, talking about obscure animation.
No, I think that's kind of the vibe of the streams though, is that we like talking about this kind of stuff. Like,
absolutely.
It's inspiring to us. I feel like even if it's something we haven't seen yet, kind of talking about it kind of like lights up our imaginations a bit.
Yeah, I will say when it comes to coloring, that's when I'm like, I doze out more with coloring than I do with ink.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know. You got through this one pretty fast.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to ask you, it's just about, have we decided upon what we want to do with Cody's scarf in terms of?
Yeah, I was thinking about that too. Because it was red in the other one, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, going by is like character like sheet, and what's the colors on there. It's like
he's got the red. Yeah, he's got the red collar.
Yeah,
I don't know. Do you want to do something a little different for this one?
I mean, the thing we'll be doing probably, because I'll add the texture in terms of like the half tones and whatnot to make it like, have it like be a bit more distinct than just like flat colors for the whole outfit, because I think that helps a lot in terms of the coloring and whatnot. Makes it a bit different. I'm just it's just all about trying.
I think a black scarf could be kind of cool. I don't know. What do you think?
Black scarf with like sort of not obviously bright, but like slightly lighter overtones in terms of like, because it'll have to be like a it can't be too dark or else the line work would disappear. So we'll have to do it like it would depend on like how far down we do it. We'll have to, it'll be like a so like this color.
Oh yeah. Like a grayish black kind of.
Yeah, it'll be like a grayish black, but then we'll add.
I'm down with that. I'm down with that. I'm down with that.
Okay, cool. I mean, what's your scarves like?
I have just black scarves basically. I have a black scarf.
Nice.
I'm gonna jump. I'm just gonna grab a drink. Just give me. My throat's a little dry.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Yeah. Good thing. Yeah. Good reminder actually. Drink water. Everyone drink water. Remember, you drink your waters. Yeah. Because I'm looking at all the half tones we've got. I'm trying to figure out what the best texture is. We don't want it to be too dark. But then again, it's like trying to figure out like what these. I don't have them labeled for some reason. See, that's just overtaking like the whole of the color, so we don't want that too much. We want like something like a nice texture. This one. We don't want spotty. Ooh, that's nice. But again, it's a bit too kind of takes over the. That'll be good for like a darker tone over the coat. I feel like. Let me see how it looks with the coat. Let me just see how that looks. We put that as a darker color. Oops. That's kind of cool. Oops, I don't.
All right.
Yeah, I was just going through all the halftones and stuff like that. See, this is what I mean though, in terms of like applying that little extra texture. Although the problem with this is that it kind of overtakes the color a bit, but it's still two colors in one. See what I mean? Well, that looks quite cool. That looks okay.
Oh, can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear you.
Oh my god, I pressed mute on this thing and it didn't mute. Oh well, that's okay.
Oh, okay.
It's alright, no worries. But yeah, I see what you're saying. The halftones and everything.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, I like that. I think that looks really cool for a texture.
Yeah.
Kinda, it's like it's a little like almost like hypnotizing in a way. It's kind of cool.
It's a magic eye. Yeah. What do you see if you look closer?
Oh my god, you hide something in there. Oh my gosh. No, I'm down with it.
Okay.
I really
well, I think this looks great for the coat. I'm just trying to think about the scarf really. If it even needs it really, I don't know. I'm just although with the scarf.
I think the scarf is. I think. Oh, with the halftones on the scarf or whatever. Or...
Yeah.
No, just do a gray. I think a gray solid scarf is fine. Like a blackish gray scarf is fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, let me just. Okay.
I was thinking of the Mr. Warburton inspired Failing Upward characters we could do and just give them the biggest shoes ever. All those characters have massive shoes. I don't know if you noticed that about Mr. Warburton's designs.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, they do. I wonder. It's too easy of a joke to make. But I think the reason why though is that it adds a bit towards the characters, I guess. Because you do notice even do the adults have big shoes as well?
Yes,
okay.
I think so.
Okay, it's just a design choice, I think.
Except for Father, who just he's just a black silhouette basically.
Well, he's very angular as well as a design.
Yeah,
so
he's very angular. He almost feels like a Gendy character in comparison.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally.
Was he voiced by the same actor who?
Who does him? Oh, it's Maurice LaMarche. Is it not Maurice LaMarche?
I'm pretty sure it is because it is him basically doing his.
Kirk Douglas.
Kirk Douglas.
He's doing like. I thought I told you, kid, to shut up. No, I I love the father characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw they recently released a table read of the Galactic Kids Next Door.
No way.
Yeah, they released a table read of it, so I'd be interested in watching that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, please, I have to check that out definitely. Because what a funny old time that was. Yeah, that whole hype upon like a potential comeback. You know.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. I remember. I remember they dropped it to they dropped that initial kind of animatic to be like, oh, we're doing this thing. And then, people got excited, and then he's like, well, this is the animatic, we put it and got rejected. And it's like, but maybe if you guys make enough noise, we can do it. Which is interesting. We'll see if that works out for them.
I mean,
but no, I would love to see if he wanted to continue it. But at the same, it's one of those things where I'm like, I was thinking about this recently about shows that had their time in the sun and now they're trying to kind of come back. And I was thinking about this recently with Scrubs. Because Scrubs has a new season coming out. And I feel like the only reason they're doing the new season is because it did so well in syndication. I feel like Kids Next Door didn't really get that. It was in syndication for a bit, but it didn't have the same kind of pull as some other cartoons. I feel like Powerpuff Girls in syndication did really well, which is why they rebooted it. If you want to, it's three times when you think about it. They did Powerpuff Girls Z, and then they did the Dance Pants one with Ringo Starr for some reason.
That was a special.
Listen, I think Craig probably saw that and was like, "Oh, it was so cool that Ringo was a part of this," because he's like a massive Beatles fan. But then they also did the 2016 one, which it is what it is. But I feel like you have to kind of have that second life in syndication for your stuff to really take off for a reboot. Sure. There's only so many. Somebody said, "I don't want Candy's reboot to be the same way they did Powerpuff Girls."
Oh no.
No, I would hope it wouldn't be like that. Yeah, I feel like your syndication stuff, you have to have a really big life. I feel like there's two things. It's either syndication, a life after in syndication, or a life on DVD, on home media, or on streaming. Yeah. I feel like because that's how we got Clone High and everything. Although the Clone High situation is so interesting to me because it's like the real reason it kind of got picked back up is because Phil Lord and Chris Miller just became massive superstars. You know what I mean? Like they did the Spider-Verse movies, and they also had done the Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs movies, and but they had done so many things that were kind of like big, and that's why I think that eventually they're like, oh, we have the power to kind of make this again. So they were able to strike up a deal with HBO Max and everything. But that's like a rare example of something. I feel like Scrubs, I loved Scrubs when it aired. I watched like every episode, I think from season 3 or 4 on, and then I went back and got the DVDs of the other ones. But it had such a massive second life in syndication on Comedy Central. And I do feel like that's where I was like, I don't need to watch Scrubs 24/7. Right. I feel like I love the show, but I don't need to watch it all the time. It's kind of like why I feel like I love The Office, but I got kind of tired of watching The Office all the time. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's I feel like for KND, it has a massive fan base, right? People love that show. But I don't know if it's had that second life burst quite yet. It would be interesting to I don't know if it was ever on HBO Max. Can somebody tell me if it was on HBO Max?
Because they had at one point they had everything on HBO Max, right? So.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, I would be interested to see what the numbers were on that. I mean, I'm sorry if I'm talking like an executive, but I'm just talking practically. For these things to unfortunately take off, executives need to see numbers and stuff like that. So I would be interested to see if it had a bigger half-life on Max, or a bigger second life on Max or something like that. But yeah, I feel like that's kind of the deciding factor, which sucks because it really should just be hey, let's bring this thing that has a massive fan base back, and it'll be watched. It shouldn't have to rely on numbers. But yeah, it's always a bummer. But I would love to see him bring it back for Galactic. I know like the big twist in that is that number one was supposed to be kind of like the villain of the show.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, which is definitely an interesting twist.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
so,
yeah.
See.
I think as someone who's a fan of that show growing up, I think it is a show that you can't really. It'd be weird if you mature it in a way, because I mean, the audience will be different in terms of like growing up. You know, that show is in such a state. Obviously, because it's Kids Next Door. It's the point of the show. Is it's such a, when it was released, it was in that mode of it being a children's show, and then to kind of like to make it a, you know, it was. I don't know if it was like trying to. I mean, I'm not saying that the show should have been edgy and stuff like that, but I feel like at the same time, it's like. Because the announcement of the show, right, or rather the Galactic Kids Next Door teaser, came out around the same time, I think, of when Samurai Jack had that second, well, not second, sorry, but like that continuing. Was it? It's not a reboot. What did you say? The Samurai Jack could move to Adult Swim.
Oh,
so
the fifth season.
Yeah. Okay. So it was a new. Okay. So it was a new season.
The continuation. Yeah.
Continuation. Yeah. And I feel like with Kids Next Door, it's very weird to like. Basically, you would have to put out a sequel series. You'd have to do it in a way that's like, because most of that audience who grew up with that show have grown up in a way now that they're like children that the children that they were then at their age.
They're adults now. Yeah.
Yeah. It just feels a bit weird to. And especially because from what I got from those animatics, it's like it didn't feel like a mature. I mean, it's weird because
it was a darker take, but it wasn't a mature take, basically.
Yeah, basically that.
Yeah.
I think it feels weird to just sort of like, you know, I guess it, you know, it would have been a hard sort of sell to like, you know, because it's like, is it like, are these characters now? I mean, I know they're older, but at the same time, are they mature enough now to like, you know? Because I mean, like, and where would it even like? I feel like it couldn't go back to Cartoon Network somehow. It doesn't feel right for it to be like an Adult Swim thing. You know, it just.
Yeah, I feel like HBO Max would have been like the perfect place for something like that.
Yeah. Because
it's like you can I mean, I don't know. Have you watched the new Superman show, the My Adventures of Superman?
Yeah, I have. And that was on Adult. That was on the Adult Swim block, right? That was.
Yeah, but it's like it's for kids. It's like clearly like a kids show. Like, no, I shouldn't say that. It's like it's kind of a YA take on Superman. It's very much like 13 to 15-year-olds would probably love this, and I love it too. It's great. I love that new show. It's wonderful. I think it totally gets what Superman's all about.
Yeah.
But it's just very fascinating that they couldn't just be like, oh, this is on Cartoon Network. It has to be on Adult Swim. And I don't know why. Like, I still haven't found like a good explanation as to why it's an Adult Swim show and not a Cartoon Network show. Maybe they're just finding that that age demographic, the like the 12 to 15 or whatever, are watching like the Toonami stuff and like the more anime stuff, and they're like, okay, well, that's where we're pulling our ratings, and the kids are watching Cartoon Network. The kids who want to watch Gumball and Teen Titans Go are watching CN.
Yeah.
So we really don't have a place for action anymore necessarily, which is so odd to me because like I feel like Toonami, you know, before it was an Adult Swim thing, you know, it was on every day. It was on every day from like 3 to 6 p.m. Or it was 4 to 7 or 3 to 6, something like that. Something in that. I think it was 4 to 7 actually.
Okay.
Like, and like they were able to air action stuff, and that's where you got home from school, you watched Toonami. And I also just think, you know, just because cable's kind of dying out now, like everything's being displaced. You know what I mean? So like nobody knows anything about like the algorithms and everything. All the only certain thing is that a lot of people are watching late night TV shows because they're getting home from work. They're getting home at 8 or 9. You know, they're getting home at like 7 or 8 p.m. So they start off Adult Swim at 8 p.m. now, which is crazy. No. I think they started off at 7 now.
Okay.
Which is so. I think maybe that's why. I think My Adventures of Superman airs relatively early too.
Okay.
I don't know. Can somebody in chat tell me like if that airs early? But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like I don't know. I feel like also maybe putting Superman in a block with kids stuff might be a hard sell because the kids stuff is so kids stuff. You know that like it's kind of hard to be like, oh well, here's this kind of slightly more mature action show. But it's also really goofy, you know, like the stuff with Jimmy and Clark hanging out is really goofy. So I don't know. It's just like I feel like it could work on a kids network, but I don't know.
There has to be like an in between, right? There has to be like some kind of in between bridge between obviously the oriented for children's and then adults, and it's like that teenager, young adult section that's like what
I think they should do. They should have the your Teen Titans Go, your Gumball on through the day, and then at 7 or 8 o'clock you switch over to Toonami, and it's not Adult Swim yet. It's just Toonami. So that's where you put all your action stuff, and then around 9 or 10 o'clock you have Adult Swim. I think that would work way better in my opinion.
Sure,
But I don't know. I'm not plugged in enough to know like what demos are watching when. So somebody said Superman was meant to be CN, but they just shunted all action stuff to Adult Swim. Same thing with Unicorn Warriors. It's weird that they aired both Superman and Unicorn at midnight. Yeah, premieres for AS at midnight. Who's watching that at midnight? I think they're just counting on people to watch it on Max at this point.
Midnight.
I don't know what person who is interested in Superman. I mean, listen, I'll watch it. If I had cable, I'd watch it at midnight. But like, I'm not everybody, you know.
Sure.
So like, this is very bizarre. But then they put Smiling Friends on at like 9 o'clock. Well, 9 o'clock for me, but midnight. Oh yeah, Smiling Friends is midnight or 11, somewhere around then. So I don't know. Very bizarre. So weird.
Quick note, how are we feeling about this outfit then? I think the black scarf.
I love it. This is wonderful.
Yeah.
This is wonderful.
You don't mind the sort of like red scrunchie on Cody's.
No, perfect.
Great, cool,
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, the black scarf was a good shout, definitely. Anyway.
Yeah.
So
cool.
I know we're coming up to the 2-hour mark, so
we can go for 2.5 hours. I don't mind today.
Yeah, okay, all right. Let me speed up there.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll talk to chat. Chat, what's on your mind right now? Let Jack do some art.
Let me do some farts.
That's just stupid joke. Have you ever seen Wet Hot American Summer? The movie that was done by all the guys from The State, the comedy skit. It's like Michael Showalter, Michael Ian Black. Anyway, it's like the absurdist comedy movie that takes place at a camp, and they have like a talent show, and they it's supposed to be for kids, but they bring this old like 60s comedian onto the stage. And he's like, when I was a kid, we called it aughts and thoughts and crafts. And like everybody in the crowd is like losing it. Like they're like losing their minds at this horrible joke.
I think, I should now. To be fair, I think I've seen the trailer of that at least. Anyway.
Oh, it's such a funny movie. It's such a funny movie. Those guys, The State in general is a very funny show. If anybody's into like 90s MTV, that was kind of like their sketch show back then.
Cool.
But yeah, a lot of great people came from that. Michael Ian Black, Michael Showalter. Who else was in that? Joe Latruglio, who went on to be on Brooklyn Nine-Nine and a bunch of other stuff. But like a bunch of really, 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 really talented. Ken Marino, like a bunch of really talented comedians. Oh, and then Thomas Lennon, who's arguably like the biggest out of all of them because he's had like the most like stuff I've seen him pop in on. But he had Reno 911 after that, so like that did really, really well. It was really surreal seeing him in Paramount Plus did a bunch of like commercials where it's like they're all on the Paramount Mountain or whatever,
Yeah.
And he was playing his Reno 911 character, and I'm like, I loved Reno 911. It's like one of the funniest shows I watched growing up. But I'm like, did it have that much of a fan base that like he would be in the commercial? It was so interesting, so very interesting decision to put him in there.
I feel like Reno 911 it has such an interesting, well, it has such an interesting life in general. In terms of like, you know, I mean,
so you know what I'm talking about? Okay,
yeah,
you know
yeah,
the show
yeah,
I'm talking about.
You know, I mean, gosh, that show. I mean, it's almost like because I mean, it doesn't have like each episode doesn't really have a plot. It just has more like a sketch within these characters, right? Because I swear every time I see it, I haven't seen like an episode. I only see like shorts and clips from it, stuff like that. So
sure, yeah.
So is it?
Yeah,
is it like
it's so what it's based off of. There was you know, in retrospect, like one of the like a horrid show we had over here called Cops.
Oh no, yeah.
Which was about like, you know, cops doing their thing, and you know, you go back to as a kid, you kind of don't think about it, and then when you get older, you're just like, ew, what a disgusting show. You know what I mean? Like it's just like showing like the most. It's just like the it's just gross. It's a really gross show to watch. But anyway, it's a parody of that. Like that's kind of and that was the format. Where Cops was the idea. It's like a bunch of different kind of altercations between cops and people. Like that's basically what Reno 911 was. But they would have kind of like a connecting thread through certain episodes about certain things. Certain kind of people on the street would come back and everything like that. But the episode that I really loved, there was an episode where two of them were chasing this guy in like a milkshake outfit. So like, you know, he's like a mascot for a milkshake company or whatever, and they were chasing him down. And like that's like the interconnecting thread through the episode. They keep cutting back to the chase, and it's all on foot. And there's one part where like he jumps in the water, and he's like, oh, he's dead. I can't believe he did that. And then you see like the little straw on top of the on top of the costume come out. He's like a snorkel. He's like keeps going, and then eventually he just gets run over by a car. Like that's how it ends.
Who writes the show? Who writes it? It's too, cause that kind of humor is too, like that's too like it's too like warped and correct, like in such a good way, you know. It's such like perfect
totally
humor.
Totally. I remember when I was watching it with a friend, we saw the straw pop out, we was crying laughing. This is one of the best gags I've ever seen in a show ever. Oh man,
I think about the one where the guy's like trying to escape from his cuffs, and the guys just make a bet, like seeing how long it takes for him to get out of the cuffs and stuff. And he's like really like jumping and struggling and stuff, like hitting things, you know. And it's like, you know, and everyone's surrounding him, everyone's like rooting for him, like, you know, rooting for him to get out of these cuffs. And then eventually he does it, and they're like, yeah! And then just immediately after, the guy tases him, and he like the way he collapses as he passes out from the taser. It's like, you know, just, and like, yeah, the cuffs are doing good nowadays. You know, it's the timing. It's so well done.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of improv. It's a lot of improv too.
Yeah.
But no, I was gonna say, just the people on that show were always really funny. Carlos Arozaki, is that how you pronounce his name? The guy who voices Rocco.
Yes.
Is on that show. And just like a Cedric Youngborn, I think who's the black cop on that, is amazing. I love him. He has one of the best lines in Black Dynamite, where he like it's. Have you ever seen Black Dynamite?
Oh, I really need to. I've only seen like clips.
Oh my God.
Pieces of it.
He comes into like the den of pimps or whatever, and he's warning them. He's just like, I'm warning you that I am waging war on anyone that sells drugs in my community. And then it cuts to him, and he's like, but Black Dynamite, I sell drugs in the community. And I'm like, I've known that guy since Reno 911, and I'm always sad he didn't like get bigger. I always thought he was one of the funniest characters on the show.
Yeah.
But he's just kind of like, he's still really reliable character actor to pop up in things, but I'm like, oh, that guy was so funny. Like, just the dynamics between everybody on that show were amazing. Really, really good.
Maybe he just feels comfortable more as a character actor, though, you know, because maybe just,
I would imagine sometimes I think people are just like, you know, I get more work as a character actor than if I were to, you know, consistently chase lead roles all the time.
Sure.
You know,
yeah.
like, I think that becomes a little tougher. But yeah, no, a wonderful character actor. Yeah, let me get his name right. Cedric Yarbrough. That's his name. I call him Young Bro. Cedric Yarbrough. Really funny guy. He's on the Boondocks too, huh? Who do you play on the Boondocks? Oh, he played Tom Dubois. Okay. Got it. Okay, all right. No, that's cool. No, he's great. Oh, he played the older neighbor that marries the white woman. Okay, gotcha. All right, yeah. And they have the kid together. That's Riley's. That's Huey's friend.
Right.
Okay. It's been a while since I've sat and watched the Boondocks. Really funny show too. I know they did like a fourth season of that, and people weren't really into it, right?
When did that come out though? Was that?
I don't know. That's like one of those things that kind of just came and went. 2014, I think it came out. The fourth season. I never watched the fourth. I watched like the first three, and then they did like a little reboot in 2014.
Right.
But yeah. I watched. I liked his other show. Did he do this one? Let me make sure he did this one. Aaron Magruder. K-Master said we don't talk about that last season.
No.
I heard what's his name talk about it before he passed away. The guy who played the grandpa. I can't remember his name, but he's in Friday and he's in a bunch of good stuff. You know, he said like I did it for the money, but like the writing was just not there because Aaron Magruder wasn't there.
Dang.
I feel like he's such like a key part of it, you know what I mean? That it's kind of surprising that they would even try it without him. Interesting. Okay. All right, no, it's not Aaron Magruder who did this show, so I won't. Yeah, I don't know who I'm thinking about. But yeah. Anyway, yeah. Adult Swim stuff, like when they try to reboot it, it's really interesting. I feel like they've been really successful with Aqua Teen as of late. They've been able to keep that alive.
Yeah, I can't believe that show's still going.
It's absolutely insane. Even like post like Smiling Friends and stuff like that, it's still doing pretty well. I figured like Smiling Friends would kind of take its place because it's kind of, I wouldn't say it has a similar dynamic, but I feel like people who love Aqua Teen kind of would move on to Smiling Friends after that.
Sure.
But yeah, they're gonna keep it going. It's, you know, I wish they would bring back Space Ghost, but unfortunately, you know, he passed away. I feel like they had so many chances to bring that back too. Space Ghost is so evergreen. I feel like that humor, it starts in Space Ghost. I feel like all that kind of like irreverent, kind of just like random humor. It starts there. It's really good.
I mean, you know, it's that kind of like, I mean, they should, because I mean, Eric Andre had some elements of that. I mean, he was inspired by Space Ghost, but it's that kind of show where it's very much, it feels unscripted, but at the same time the humor, it's written in a way that's very like, you know, not derivative. What's the word I'm thinking of? It's just very, because there's a lot of awkward pauses, and that really helps. And out of context, like, because when they're interviewing the guests, it's like they take the clips out of context in terms of what they're saying and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I love that. I love I mean, especially when they get really weird and experimental and kind of like the later seasons of Space Ghost. I love the episode where they have Randy Macho Man Savage as Space Ghost's dad, and he kind of ends up like taking over the interviews, and he just uses it as an excuse to talk about wrestling, and it's amazing. Where he's just like, he's talking to Raven Simone, you know, Raven Simone at this point is like a little kid, and he's just like, "What's your name?" And it's like, "Do you know Haystack Calhoun? He was a mountain of a man." Like, it's just so bizarre. And then she's just like, like they clearly cut out like another part of the interview. Oh my god, so funny.
Yeah.
The one, I mean, like, I think early on they tried to kind of make it a little more coherent. You know, like,
oh, sure.
they still had fun with it clearly, but like they tried to make it more. I love the one. There's one that's not technically an episode of the show, but it was a special feature on the when The Mask came out. They had an interview with Jim Carrey and the director of The Mask. So they get Jim Carrey on, and I guess Jim Carrey must have only been there for like 3 minutes because they keep using a clip of him going, "Cool, all right." They just keep using that clip over and over and over again. It just keeps replaying, "Cool, all right." But no, I love that kind of like we'll kind of make it work in post mentality of just like let's just have fun with it. But it was also just the style of humor was so bizarre and like weird, and like they were treating these characters in outer space like they were just like really normal day-to-day TV show people, and like that was kind of what worked about it in my opinion. But then they would always have kind of moments of like, you know, Zorak being like an evil. I mean, he always is an evil praying mantis, but like they kind of really lean into that, and it breaks the illusion for a second that these are normal people. But like, and it gets so bizarre as it goes. I mean, even the episode with like where they introduce like the Aqua Teen characters, and they're you know, they're the prototype versions of them. Oh my god, so funny. The bond is in your mind. Me and my friend used to say that to each other all the time. There was no context for it. But the bond is in your mind. Like, stand down, meatwad.
Yeah, that's right. Stand down. Yeah. That's the shake like Francis things.
Oh my god. I love that early Frylock too, where he's just like a nerdy teen. He's like, don't hurt me. I like that they changed him to what he eventually became, but like that's really funny too. But like it goes off the rails at a certain point. And I just think they have so much fun with it.
Oh yeah.
Space Ghost is great. I mean, like, there's a lot of Adult Swim stuff that I wish there's that period in the late 2010s where they were getting super experimental again, and like they had a Joe Parra Talks With You and stuff like that, and like wish we had kind of continued down that route. But I don't know. I do wonder if like are there any live action shows on Adult Swim right now, or are we back to full animation?
That's a very good question.
Yeah. Current shows. It looks like we're back to full animation.
Oh, interesting.
That is very interesting. I'm pretty sure, we're back to full animation. Obviously they'll play some reruns of like infomercials and stuff like that every now and then, which has, but you know, Smiling Friends, Rick and Morty, Robot Chicken Primal. Family Guy's not on Adult Swim anymore. I don't know why that's coming up. Common Side Effects, Haha You Clowns. Yeah, well, we talked about Haha You Clowns last time. It's a brilliant show. My Adventures with Superman, Women Wearing Shoulder Pads, which I need to finish. I really like that show. It's so bizarre. It's kind of like a parody of telenovelas. But also it's in stop motion too. Yeah. It has giant guinea pigs in it. Yeah, I definitely want to check that out again. But yeah, I think we're back to like full animation, which is interesting. I mean, it's sad too because I feel like once again you can kind of do so much on Adult Swim. You know, there's no like limit to what you can do, and I feel like kind of limiting yourself to just animation is always it's kind of a bummer. I feel like. I mean, but no, I loved Joe Parra. I thought Joe Parra was like brilliant.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, I think I don't know. Maybe it's just they get less from their, but then again, that's not true. I guess maybe nowadays though, it's like they realize that we're getting more, you know, income or you know, audience from our animated shows than our live action shows. So that's probably why, in the current state it is right now, it's like that's why they're investing more in animation. But at the same time, I don't know. It's just like what surely, I don't know what costs. Well, surely like animation costs more to produce than than the live action show, right?
Yeah, I do wonder about ratings for them too, because it's like maybe the ratings weren't there for the live action because people were expecting animation and stuff like that. But like, I don't know. I feel like I had a couple live action shows. I mean, Joe Parra went on for 3 seasons, which is more than I thought it ever would go on for. But,
yeah. I mean, granted, I do, and no, this is nothing. I mean, I would love again to have another season of Joe Parra's Talks With You, but at the same time, it's like, what could they have done more with the show in terms of like
They were getting kind of weird at the end.
Yeah.
They were doing some weird stuff. I remember like Gene, his neighbor, and like the kid from the smart kid from Joe's class, like were trying to become like a dual president of the United States or something. Like it started getting very bizarre. It reminded, I mean, that show in general reminds me a lot of The Adventures of Pete and Pete. Where like it's the surreality that's kind of rooted in the mundane day-to-day lives of these characters.
Yeah.
And it reminded me a lot of the third season of Pete and Pete, where like that season kind of really goes off the rails in terms of just wacky stuff. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I do know that he wanted to do a fourth season, but it got kind of like canned by Adult Swim. I would honestly love to, like, if I ever met him. I've met him once. Oh, I met him twice, actually. I met him once where I actually got to talk to him for a little bit, but then I met him again at, like, kind of a quick thing where, like, you know, we just saw him as we were leaving and I said hi to him. But I would love to, like, actually pick his brain on what he would have done for a fourth season, but he'll probably be like, oh, well, I'm not going to say it because I actually, you know, we might do a fourth season one day.
Sure. I think he should...
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think he should still... I want him to still do, like, specials, though. Like, I still want him to do, like, just special episodes.
Like the Christmas tree special or whatever, you know, like...
Yeah. And all that free one that came out during like COVID time, where it's just, you know, like relaxing images or whatever like that. Although that was released later online.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. That's one I haven't gotten back to really. Yeah. But I mean, the animated one. If they wanted to do it like an animated thing, I think they could. I liked the very limited animation they used for the semi-pilot. You know what I mean? Like, that's really funny. And that one just has some of the best jokes in it. It's like, it's like. Where he's like, I don't joke around about barns or something like that. Like, no, he's like, and like this, like, I'm sorry, like I can't not be serious about barns. Like, this isn't that kind of barn. Like, it's like stupid like that. Oh my god.
Yeah.
That thing he talks about with Stephen Hawking, where it's just like, it's like, one guy cheated on his wife, who cares? But it's like, but if one person in in this entire universe wants to be with you, like, doesn't that make it important? Like, it's just like, oh my god. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
Joe Pera, and then his stand-up is great. The special he did a while back was really good. I think a year or two ago, he did a special that they put for free on YouTube that was wonderful. The
podcast is nice as well. I like it. I like the podcast.
Yeah, the podcast. I mean, you can actually fall asleep to it, which is really nice.
Yeah.
And then I, you know, my favorite bit that I still want to turn to a failing upward thing is the mummy bit, but we'll get there eventually.
It's on my bit list. Like, we got some failing upward bits that we still need to do, so it's on my. He gets
like a universal, like a rare print of the universal mummy, and that's what it is. Oh my god.
Yeah, don't worry, it's on my to-do list. Yeah. Well, you know, Gary sends me like good ideas for like characters of characters of failing upward to like say in terms of their character with, like, you know, but it's like, I mean, I don't know if everyone's seen this. We did a one with
Family Guy.
Family Guy, where it's like Cody's like struggling to decide which rental movie he wants to watch from the video store, like Godzilla Strikes Again or Godzilla
Strikes Another Time.
Yeah. And the cover is like him in bed. And the announcer that we're closing in 5 minutes, and then
My favorite thing is that I've seen people reply to that, and it's like, just pick both, and it's like, well, he only has enough money for one. It's like, borrow the other one, and I'm like, he can't. It's not how it works.
Yeah, you know.
Oh man. Failing Upward is so interesting because, like, it takes, like, I mean, in this universe, there is no streaming. We still are doing video stores and stuff like that. So, like, it's fun to kind of play with those ideas and everything. Yeah, I don't know. I think we could have a lot of fun with different audio. I feel like, you know, we're talking about like YouTube algorithm stuff now. I feel like just taking your characters and putting words in their mouths from other media is kind of like a trend now. So like I do feel like, you know, we talked about some other ones we won't spoil, but like I feel like that could really work in certain scenarios. I don't want to talk about the one we have planned, but like, oh man, wait, hang on. Oh, your college course got canceled tomorrow. Nice, Coop. Awesome. Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about that. This totally off topic, but in America, I'm sure do kids still have snow days in the UK? Like if it snows too much, do they cancel school?
Oh yeah, no, of course. If it's like too vicious of like of like a there's too much snow about for the roads or anything like that. I mean usually obviously you have like the salt, you have the car, the big trucks laying all the salt on the road and stuff like that. But then if it's like too much of a heavy, heavy of snow, it's like we get school gets cooled off and stuff like that. So yeah, of course we have snow.
Yeah, there was like a big thing, and I'm not in New York anymore, but I'm from New York, and I was looking at like the thing. There was a thing where like Mayor Mamdani, who's like the new mayor of New York City, he was talking about like people were trying to be like, oh, he's so soulless because he won't give the kids a day off. He's gonna make them do remote learning. And I was like, oh, that's so bizarre. I mean, I remember we used to get snow days and stuff like that. We used to go outside and everything. So I looked further into it, and basically what happened is that because of COVID, remote learning became so much more like accessible, I guess.
Right.
So that kind of changed things, but more importantly, apparently this was something New York voted on, where it's like you either have a shorter school year with no snow days and remote learning, or a longer school year that can have snow days and no remote learning on those days. And New York voted for like we want the shorter school year with no snow days, and now like they're like everyone's like upset about it. I'm like, but you guys voted for it. Like, what's going on? I don't understand. So I just thought that was so bizarre, but very funny. I was just like, people just so quickly forget about things they voted on.
Whose fault is this? Oh yeah, it's us.
it's our fault. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, the mayor was like, my hands are tied, guys. I don't know what you want me to do.
Yeah.
Like a kid wrote into him, like, you made a very compelling argument, but unfortunately, like, this is not where we are right now. So yeah, I mean, it's a bummer, but like, blame your parents. The kids didn't vote for that. That's the parent. That's on the parents.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so funny to me. It's so funny. It ties into our little snow day Cody here as well.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah. I mean, I could go Rankin Bass. The
Yeti with the blue nose.
Yeah.
Yeah, go do that. Do that. I think that'll be fun.
Well, I don't want to get sued.
Wait, can we get sued for that?
I don't know. No, I don't know. I do want some light blue undertone, because the problem with the Yeti, it's all white, so it's like, but I don't obviously want too much.
You can do some undertones. I think that'll be fun.
Yeah. Some gradients, rather. That's probably the correct term, anyway. So
sure.
So I'm just trying to do.
I was watching a really there's a YouTuber I've been watching a lot of lately, because he's been doing these very interesting videos about promotional campaigns around movies. So he did a video for each of the Spider-Man movies. So like the hype behind Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3. The YouTuber's named Young Junko, by the way. And he had this great bit about like Spider-Man 1, where before the movie came out, like, Spider-Man kind of stopped, being a thing for like 2 or 3 years between the movie and whatever last cartoon there was. So as a kid, he went to his dad and he's like, Dad, whatever happened to Spider-Man? And he's like, because I thought Spider-Man was a real person. He had to be. Oh. And then he's like, without missing a beat, my dad got up and said, they buried him in the mountain. So stupid. Oh my god. Such a good bit. And he dubbed that over Uncle Ben. Oh, that's so funny.
Oh no.
What do you guys think of Jared Leto as Skeletor for the new He-Man movie? I don't know, because he didn't talk in the trailer. I like the idea of what they're doing at that movie, where they're making it really silly and over the top and campy. I just don't like the look of it. I think it looks really. I think the look of Eternia is kind of like, is this kind of so CGI slop at this point?
Is it it's too granted actually. I mean, admittedly, I don't really care much for Masters of the Universe in general.
Yeah, I wasn't a big He-Man guy either.
No, but would you say that it's it does look from what I've seen, it does look it just doesn't go all in. Like I'm sick of all these it just looks too real, and especially when you're in this world where
Yeah, make it cartoony. Yeah, make it
yeah,
cartoony.
really,
make it fun
really,
and silly.
Yeah, really push those colors. You know, I'm really tired of like undersaturated, like, you know, live action, you know, films in general. Like, well, you know, just films that especially, you know, that just they push a lot for that kind of undersaturated look and such. You know, Marvel does it as well, and you know, it feels like. I mean, I think that what was the theory is that no one knows how to properly light their movies anymore because, you know, everything's done in post and they don't have a person on set to light the areas because everything's on a green screen now, and you know, so it's like we kind of lose all these nice, you know, sepia tones and whatnot that you usually see like back from like the 90s or 80s or whatever, you know, because they had someone on set to actually properly light it and stuff like that.
Totally. This is a $170 million movie, 200 million maybe.
I don't know.
I'm looking at the cast. I don't know the guy playing He-Man. I don't know who this guy is. Nicholas Dimitri Konstantin Galit. That's a long name. Nicholas Galitzine. I've never heard of this guy. I guarantee he's younger than me and it's gonna make me very scared. Yeah, he's younger than me.
He-Man? More like Who-Man.
Yeah, Who-Man. But it's got Jared Leto, Alison Brie, Idris Elba. I mean, Kristen Wiig. It's got an interesting cast. I'll say that much. Who directed it? Interested. Travis Knight. What has Travis Knight directed? Well, he's a producer on Leica stuff. He directed Kubo. He directed Bumblebee, which I liked. I liked Kubo. Kubo's a little basic in terms of its story, but it's a gorgeous movie. He produced Missing Link, which I still haven't seen, and he's directing Wildwood, which Wildwood I'm very interested in seeing. That looks really cool. You know it's good. You know it's a good movie when like they show the production team. The trailer is like the production team going to different locations and sketching stuff, and like they're really trying to get you hyped for how like in depth this movie is gonna be. But
I'm really interested by how, like, because the way they're obviously doing the public, you know, the advertising this film is like they're really focusing on the craft of it, you know, which is very it's very them, like it always tends to do that anyway in terms of like how the production goes in these films. They're very proud of like what goes into that and such. I mean, literally the end of the Box Trolls is like showing the guy animated and the two.
Oh yeah.
The two lackeys of the villain is like they're like making a comment and stuff like that, and you know, actually to be fair, when I saw that in the cinema, that was like probably one of the funniest jokes because, granted, it had Richard Ayoade doing the deadpan humor and like really emphasizing the joke, which helped a lot. But like, you know, it was, you know, it's such
yeah, go ahead.
Such an animated joke as well, so it's like, you know, oh, this must be a lot of work to do this, and this, and this, and he's doing like a dance and stuff.
He is a guy. I mean, obviously a very talented performer, but like as a director, he's a very fascinating director too. He did Submarine, which was really good.
Yeah.
And then he also did a movie called The Double. I think is it The Double?
Yes, it was The Double.
That movie is so bizarre because like it's a movie that you could just do in like a modern setting and it would be fine, but he created like a whole like post-apocalyptic setting for it, which was very fascinating to me. So he's a director I really like, and I mean, of course, I mean, IT Crowd and Garth Marenghi's Dark Place. He's a brilliant performer as well.
Yeah.
Garth Marenghi, just in that alone, oh my god, he's so funny in that. The layers to that performance where he's like really chill and like, you know, when he's in the behind the scenes stuff, but as soon as he's on camera and he has to act, he's just so stiff and rigid.
Yeah.
It's hard to act bad. That's the thing. I feel like it's very hard to do a convincing bad performance, but he's so funny in that. Oh my god.
I mean,
that's good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I wish the thing is, what sucks about the only thing I complain about Richard Ayoade is that I wish he was I wish he was doing more in terms of like I would love to see him do, like, I feel like I'd be interested to see him because I don't think The Double did very well in terms of attendance of, you know.
I loved it. I thought it was thought it was a great movie.
Yeah, I mean, definitely reviewed well, I think, but I don't think the public enjoyed it as much as Submarine. So
Mhm.
and
I
then
mean, it's a
and then
very different movie. You know,
yeah.
it's much darker.
And have you read his books? His books are like the kind of like for me. I found it really hard to read his books because it's like, well, I mean, I only read one of his books, which is I think it was which one was it? Because he has like a one book about film where it basically is him writing about a fictional screenplay, and stuff like that. And then there's another one where basically he's talking about it's the book is just about how it's just about White Chicks, the film. And it's just all dedicated to like, I think it was him talking like why it's one of the best films ever, or just like, but it's in a very serious matter, in text and stuff like that. And you can just imagine it in his voice. But at the same time, it's like, I think I found it I found it hard to like, not that book anyway. I haven't read that one yet. I'll be curious to know if that one's a bit better than the one I read. One he first read, because it's I don't know. Yeah, I mean, then again, it's just his humor is just very like, it's just sharp and just very witty and stuff like that. I mean, I came across him obviously with the Mighty Boosh and stuff like that, and of course all those.
Oh, all right, he was on that. I forgot.
Yeah. And then of course all those actors obviously went off to, you kind of wish they do more than what they're currently are doing, and it's very selfish,
totally.
But of course I'm happy. Right now.
In terms of like British shows, like I know everybody still wants like a third season of Spaced, and I'm like, no, it ended perfectly.
No,
like it's one of the first shows that like it's like 6 episodes each season, right? So like it ends perfectly. I'm like, I don't need it told me everything I need to know. Like why you would want to do more, I don't know. But yeah, even Simon Pegg and Nick Frost, like it's not happening. It's just not gonna. They said we'd be interested in maybe revisiting in a certain form. They kind of did a little bit. They did the I don't know if you ever saw the short where it's Simon Pegg and then who played the girl on Spaced? Played Daisy.
Yes, sorry.
Jessica Hines. Jessica Hines and Simon Pegg, they're revisiting the old flat house, and they're kind of like going around it and like looking at it and everything. And it's like, oh wow. It brings back a lot of memories being here. It's
Jessica Stevenson.
It's so awesome. Yeah. What'd you say?
Jessica. Oh, sorry. Back then she was Jessica Stevenson, but then.
Oh, okay. Oh, she changed her name. Okay, she got married. Okay, gotcha.
Yes.
So they're going around the house and everything, and then they leave, and then they go off camera, and just as they go off camera, Tim and Daisy show up, and they have a baby carriage with them. And it's like, who are those people? And they're kind of going, and then they have like a whole little like back and forth, and I think like Tim trying to name the baby like Leia or something like that, and Daisy's like, no, you can't do that. But yeah, no, that was more than enough for me. Where I was like, aw, like okay, so there was like a little bit more of an ending. Like it, they made it work. They were very clever about doing that. I feel like I just feel like Simon Pegg's in his like 50s now, right? So like trying to make him be that character like in his 20s again, like I feel like would be a little like, I don't want to say humiliating, but it would be like a little regressive in terms of like how far he's come in his career.
Sure, yeah.
So like I don't know. I feel like just leave it alone. Like we don't need a third season of Spaced.
Yeah, no, I agree. I just some things are it just makes sense more back then than just rehashing it again to so yeah, it really wouldn't make sense to have it. I still want them to collaborate. I want them still
with
to
Edgar,
collaborate,
with Edgar
together. Edgar and obviously.
I watched The Running Man recently.
Ooh, yeah, how was that?
It's a very I was entertained by it. It's a lot of fun, but it is a very, very, very messy script. Like, and I don't know if it's weird because when I think of like Edgar Wright and that partner he works with, because they also did Scott Pilgrim with this guy as well.
Right.
And Scott Pilgrim's such a tight movie. I feel like there's no wasted moment in Scott Pilgrim. So to kind of see this one kind of have like a little excess on it, and it didn't need certain plot points or certain characters, like I do wonder if there was like, because I know Stephen King was involved in this as well, because obviously he wrote the original book under a different name in the 80s, albeit, but like I do wonder if he came in at any point and was like, "Hey, I need this and this and this," and they had to kind of like fit it in the script because Stephen King wanted it that way. But I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like Edgar Wright has proven he can make movies without Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. I mean, obviously Scott Pilgrim and then Baby Driver and stuff like that. But like, I didn't see Last Night in Soho. I still haven't seen that one. But I know he can do movies without them. But I wonder if like he is better suited to, you know, mid-budget projects as opposed to like big budget ones. But I don't know. Scott Pilgrim had a big budget, so maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I just felt like it was, for what it was, I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with it, but like, you know, if I was in the editing room, I would have cut out a lot of that. Like a lot of it didn't need to be in there. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah, it was much more based upon the book, though. I think that's what they were going for.
Yeah.
So I don't know if.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I love the original movie. I think the Arnold movie's a lot of fun. That's one of those movies I saw as a kid, and I didn't understand the subtext as much as a kid. I'm like, oh, this is just like cool, like American Gladiators kind of thing. And like, I sort of understood the satire a little bit, but I saw it when I was like 8. So like, right. I kind of got that it was like, oh, they're making fun of like greedy people or something. That was like my basic understanding of it. Like, but then, you know, I've watched it since, and I'm like, oh wow, some of this satire is oddly predictive in ways that I don't know if they intended it to be, but like, you know, old, like if you look in the audience, like the audience in the original movies, like all old people,
right?
And I'm like, oh, okay. Like I see what they're trying to say here, and you know, that kind of almost like predictive of like Fox News and stuff like that. So yeah, like, so like, it was interesting. It was really interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still excited to see what Edgar does next. I would be very interested to see what he does next. Because the movie unfortunately did not do that well. But let me see. Do you have anything in the pipeline? I know some people said like if he had directed Ant-Man, more opportunities would have opened up for him. But like, no, I think he made the right choice there.
Yeah.
I think they still. A movie called.
I was gonna say, I think they still took a lot of. I mean, you see that film, and you still kind of feel like there's a lot of jokes in there that are very Edgar, though, because he had involved in the script still, right?
For sure, yeah. He does a credit on the script, right?
Yeah, I think he still does somewhat, you know.
Yeah. So he has a movie called The Chain coming out next, and a mother finds herself trapped in a terrifying kidnapping chain. All right, he's doing like another horror movie, basically. Interesting. I'll be interested to check it out. I have not watched Last Night in Soho, so I'll check that out soon enough. He did the Sparks documentary, which I still haven't seen.
Oh, that's great. Great fun, that documentary.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, well, you know, I think it's more just like discovering that. I mean, I knew, of course, about the Sparks and stuff like that, but then knowing this whole legacy and then the amount of like talking heads they got for this film, it's like incredible almost, you know. But and Sparks themselves, they're very much they're characters in themselves as a band, you know. They're quite funny and witty in terms of like, you know, what they have to say and stuff like that. So, and it's very fascinating in terms of their career, because, you know, they don't really stick to one thing every album, really, you know. Rather, you know.
No, they don't. They're all over the place. Like, I think in many ways, I think they're kind of like this might be a kind of a. I mean, I'm sure if you asked them, they would say they were an influence, but they almost feel like kind of like you know, the first step towards They Might Be Giants. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I think They Might Be Giants has a more folksy kind of like background than Sparks. Sparks always really seemed driven by synth stuff, which, you know, They Might Be Giants does a lot of too. But I think of They Might Be Giants, I think of a lot of like they kind of pull more from like old music, like older folksy stuff. And whereas Sparks is more like, I always thought they were more forward thinking. They were looking at the future, more so than like kind of pulling stuff from the past. Although I'm sure if you ask them, they would like a bunch of classic rock and stuff like that. I would actually, like I said, I'd be interested in sitting down and seeing what their influences were when they were kind of like starting.
Yeah, actually just check out the film in general. It's just because it is still I think, and it's great because it's got little animated bits as well, you know, and just the way it's edited is it's very much Edgar's editing, so it's quite good of like making it still be, you know, exciting to watch, and, you know, in terms of like telling the story. So Yeah, I'd say definitely check it out.
Oh.
I'm definitely gonna do some effects with this Yeti's fur.
So do you wanna wrap it here, and then we can just wrap it here for now?
Yeah, I think yeah. I mean, we unfortunately didn't reach the end in terms of like.
But that's okay. I mean, like, you guys get the basic idea, right? Like, chat, you get the basic idea.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, but usually in coloring, it's like I'm in my days in terms of like just like coloring and stuff like that. And it's funny actually drawing these characters in a comic setting because it's like you got to consider upon like we're drawing Cody's winter's clothes for the first time. And it's like, well, what does that look like? And and this setting that's outside, so
yeah, it's very interesting. It's very yeah. It's very interesting, kind of like breaking like our typical kind of like formula for this almost.
Yeah. And granted, this is our first comic, so it's like who knows what the, I mean, I think it's always good to experiment anyway in terms of this format because this format does allow you to experiment in terms of the storytelling. So don't expect every comic to look specifically like this. In terms of like because I mean, in terms of like depending on what because we got a couple more planned and it's like I feel like it's always fun to like tell what these comics are in a way not it's again I don't want to say too much obviously in terms of what those will be but we're definitely gonna be it's a much more playful format as opposed to an animation which is still playful but obviously animation takes much longer to do than comics although saying that coloring just these we diverse.
Well, I was also talking your ear off the whole time. So
no, but that's cool though. It's fine. I mean, it was just you get the general idea anyway. So hopefully we'll share the complete product soon. The main thing is that I just know what the colors are now. So
we totally, and that should be we'll be able to wrap it up pretty quick then.
Yeah.
So Bumbly came in at the last minute here, said, "Yo, I missed 2 of them. Oh my god." So this is the second stream Bumbly has missed. Sorry, man. We do pretty much the same time every time we do these. So even if we're off for a week, you can probably check in the next week, and we'll be on around like 12 p.m. PST, 3 p.m. EST. So
I don't want to do the YouTuber thing, but like, does hitting the bell literally help? Because
Bumbly hit the bell if you want the updates and everything like that. But we also update to all of our socials as well. But yeah, I mean, you could go back and rewatch everything, Bumbly. That's the beauty of these streams. You can go back and rewatch. So yeah, no, this was a lot of fun. We're gonna wrap it up here. Jack, thank you again for meeting with me. So this month I'm kind of looking into getting a bet I will. It's snowing here, so I was just sleeping. Oh no, totally understandable. It's I heard it's really bad out on the East Coast, so stay safe and everything like that. So get sleep if you need to. I like the Rayman appendages for Cody here, where he has no arms, just like his little Rayman gloves and everything.
Yeah, I mean, I realize in these comics I'm kind of being a little bit more playful with the character design anyway. That's why it's like not. Well, it's things are much more angular, I guess, a bit more like the pen weight's a bit more different and stuff like that. So, again, fun thing about these comics, we can just be a bit more playful in terms of the character designs and whatnot. So
totally, yeah, we can do whatever we want basically. So anyway, guys, I think we're gonna wrap it up. Thank you guys for coming out. We're still doing pretty good on viewer retention. Like, we're having around like 5, 6, 7 people coming in. I just said the stupid meme. I'm sorry.
No.
I said 5 in front of those 2 things. So yeah, it doesn't count.
Okay.
But no, we'd love to see more of you guys. We're glad people are still showing up in general. I think like we had like 7 people or 8 people tops today, which is pretty cool. Tell your friends if your friends like watching art streams or just like watching people talk about animation stuff.
Yeah.
These are wonderful streams for that. Talk about other stuff as well, but like, that's our core of what we're interested in, everything like that. And like the videos, that helps a lot too. I'm glad the stream views aren't going down because that would be a little disappointing, but they seem to be doing pretty well. I think the last stream actually overtook the first one of these we did, so something's working. And yeah, have a wonderful week. I might be out of commission for a little bit. I'm gonna try to make the streams, but I'm going in for a procedure soon, so like it's gonna be a little intimidating in terms of getting back on stream. So
Yeah.
I'll keep you guys. I'll at least be able to do like text updates on social media and in our community posts. Be like, hey, not feeling great this week, might not stream, but we're gonna keep trying to do these. We'll see what the idea for the next one will be. And yeah, we'll hit you back up then. Jack, you have anything to say before we leave?
Well, I say look forward to the finished comic anyway, because
oh yeah, totally.
Once I just edit these colors, and also bear in mind I've got to actually animate them again due to the fact that this is a GIF comic, so things are slightly moving. Yeah, I've got to just recolor some areas to the second frame. But trust me, it'll look really cool. Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Because I like to just, I mean, we want these not only to look cool, but I like to just make more work for me. So, it is what it is. It's my fault. I was like thinking about, oh, Gary, we should make these boil as well, the same as the cartoon. And then my brain's just like, shut up, you stupid idiot, you make more work. no, it'll look really good.
They're gonna look cool. They're gonna stand out when we post them on like Newgrounds and stuff like that. So that's really cool.
Yeah. So you look forward to the point when it's all finished and colored and stuff like that.
Yeah, totally.
Pretty much, yeah.
All right, guys. We're gonna end it here. We're gonna go to kick it to our little thanks for coming screen, and then we're gonna call it a day. Have a good one, guys.
Yeah, thank you for watching. Take care, everyone. Bye.
Bye.